I'm a little rusty on it.
I'll hum it for you.
I'm going to be fine with your jokes, but I'm not sure about dark branding.
All right. How is... Oh, I got... Okay. Gotta fix this wire. That shouldn't be... There we go. That's better. Yeah, don't want to strain the wire there. Okay. How is everyone doing? Let me just... There's always like one thing that I gotta move around because I hate when things aren't in the right spot. All right, let's do the intro really quickly. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, whenever you might be watching this. My name is Josh, and welcome to my channel. On here, we talk news, we talk politics, we talk current events, and we play video games sometimes. How's everybody doing? It is Monday, July 10th, 2023. Another day on this fair planet. So we got a bit of a show today. Just a bit of a show. Want to take a look at Lena Khan and kind of the what's the word? The reputation that she has developed over there at the FTC. And kind of the response that that she's gotten from people interested in what the FTC does. We'll kind of go over that. David Dayen wrote an interesting article about it. I want to kind of go over a little bit of it. Oh, that's really loud, I feel like. Wait, can you? Okay, that's still really loud, I feel like. We'll do this one. I feel like that's okay. You tell me if you can hear the... maybe we'll do that one. Anyway, then want to take a look at an article from ProPublica that ties a former Trump lawyer to a website called AdStyle, or to a company, I should say, called AdStyle, which seems to specialize in deceptive advertisement on right-wing platforms. Probably, I think one of the ones named was, I think it was like Drain the Swamp something or other, but and same on Truth Social apparently. So we'll take a look at that. Then we'll read about the Nazis in Ukraine that I keep hearing about. Like, I remember when the war started, we heard a lot about like, we heard a lot about the Azov battalion. We heard a lot about like, oh my goodness, there's people who hold Nazi views in Ukraine. Like, that's somehow unique. Have you been to some parts of the United States? There's also a bit of a problem with that here in the States. But we'll kind of take a look at that. And then when we shift over into the legally distinct fun half, I want to take a look at Democracy's Now coverage of the Tennessee, Attorney General, I believe, overturning, it would be a Court of Appeals, sorry, reaffirming the ban on gender-affirming care in the state of Tennessee, so that'll be fun. And then, we'll have a bit of fun and take a look at the response that has been going on that I've been seeing. I never got to it last stream, but we are going to get it this time. Over Sound of Freedom and its success at the box office. We'll kind of break that down and I'll explain why it's really mostly a mirage and it's really all about where your expectations are. If you think that, any movie making it... Actually, now that I think about it, I know what we'll compare it to. So we'll take a look at that. Then I want to talk about... I want to talk a little bit about AOC, who came out and endorsed President Joe Biden for his 2024 re-election bid. And we'll kind of go over breaking points with Brianna Joy Gray and kind of their commentary around it and kind of see what the, I'm gonna, guess the opposing side is going to, we'll kind of respond to what I would guess is the opposing side to my take on that. And and after that, I want to take a look at kind of the results of Anna Kasparian's weird obsession with bonus hole and kind of go over a little bit a good example of like why all of that was not just dangerous, but like really unnecessary for her to engage in. And so we'll kind of take a look at that. And after that, we'll play an alien abduction game. Sounds good? I think that sounds good. Anyway, we're 6 minutes in. Let's get going, shall we? Okay, let me switch this. All right, let's go. Attacks on Lena Khan's ethics reveal copious amounts of projection. Story out from David Dayan. I heard a little bit about this on the Majority Report, and I wanted to kind of share the article. I think it's interesting because we don't talk a lot about the FTC, and we don't really talk too much about the I think the way that some of our media responds to the FTC and how we kind of report on it. But anyway, let's get into it. Former Amazon CEO Jeff Bezos told shareholders at the company's annual meeting in 2016 that he wanted Amazon Prime to be such a compelling product that every consumer would covet it. Our goal with Amazon Prime, make no mistake, is to make sure that if you are not a Prime member, you are being irresponsible. I'm not a Prime member. I think I'm good. I think I'm perfectly responsible. Let's see. A federal lawsuit out this week alleges that Amazon relied on more than just good features to build subscriptions in Prime. The FTC, or the Federal Trade Commission, argues that Amazon used dark patterns and other online tricks to dupe people into signing up for Prime, and then made it next to impossible to get out. I can't say I'm super surprised by this. I can't even get into my Amazon account anymore because of how fucked the account the account recovery it is. It's like incredibly difficult just to like get into my account and to change anything or not. Oh my goodness, excuse me. Anyway, let's see. The company called their cancellation program, what the fuck, Iliad, after the Greek epic, makes sense, depicting the 10-year siege of the city-state of Troy, which involved navigating a 4-page, 6-click, 15-option gauntlet just to get out of the 139. Wait, Prime is $139 these days? Holy shit. That's a lot. Zakov, why do you think the Russians are Nazis? No, we're just talking about Russian Nazis. Like, they are Russian and they are Nazis. That's what we're talking about. This is a group that identifies with Nazi ideology. This is not a what's it called? We will get to that story. What are we doing that? Probably next? Yeah, or no. No, we can do it next. Since you're asking about it, we can do it next. Its first suit, $139 membership. A classic scholar might grumble that Odyssey would be more appropriate Greek epic, but perhaps Amazon was saving for an even worse process. The FTC is asking for a permanent injunction and civil penalties. Nationalistic group which attacked the Russian region together with some Polish guys. We'll get to it. We'll get to it. I promise. We will do this story next. It's the first suit against Amazon since Lena Khan became FTC chair, and we can surely expect loud howls from the industry lobby about conflicts of interest. Khan rose to prominence after publishing a law review article in 2017 about the need for new efforts to mitigate Amazon's market power. That article talks about Prime in the context of below-cost pricing to hook consumers. Amazon nearly doubled Prime fees since its initial offer, a tactic known as recoupment. So yeah, okay. So what Amazon is doing and engaging with, engaging in, I should say, is essentially like not price fixing, but setting their prices. It's very similar to Walmart. You come into a small town, you undercut the price of items, which means like, if your local, if your local grocery store, it's 30 cents for an apple. I don't know how much apples are. As when Amazon or when Walmart on this, in the like real world version of this, Walmart comes in, they buy a ton of apples from a ton of different areas, some of them from the local produce, from the farms or stuff like that. But mostly, they end up buying a whole ton. They end up selling at a, if you're a local grocery store, you sell it for 30 cents. Walmart's going to now sell it for 20, maybe even 15 if they can. And slowly, because they have the funds to do it, Walmart will begin to chip away at those small businesses' market share until eventually none of the other businesses can compete. When they move out of the area, then they jack the prices up to recoup all of that cost. Boom, you've now eliminated all of your competition. You now have a monopoly on basically selling in that region. That's what Amazon does a lot of the time. Amazon, in the way that it, when you put your like items up for sale, they'll if they find that it's very marketable and does very well, they will create an Amazon essential. I think it's essential. Version of that item that you're selling, that you created yourself, and then sell a dummy, store brand Amazon version, sell it for half the price. After the point, make sure that there's those little clickable articles, make sure that they have, it's some of those consumer magazines to feature, best items on Amazon, and make sure some of them are Amazon essentials. Then next thing you know, you'll run out of the item that you brought to the market. And then once you're out of the way, they just increase the price to recoup what it took to kill your business. That's a lot of what Amazon's been accused of doing. And I think it's, from what I understand, it's been pretty demonstrable. But because of the way that the FTC regulates, especially on the internet, it's just digital marketplaces aren't regulated, from what I understand, as stringently, and it's a bit harder to like kind of keep an eye on that sort of stuff. But that's kind of the general process. And the importance of the membership program to increase purchases and revenue. It says nothing about Amazon using unfair practice to acquire and retain Prime customers, but this won't likely matter because it fits into an ongoing smear campaign about Khan's ethics. 2 years ago, Amazon sought Khan's recusal from matters concerning the company, claiming personal bias. Facebook, now Meta, did the same on multiple occasions, when even asking a federal judge to throw out an antitrust suit against the company on this basis. The judge denied the request. I'm kind of curious. What connections? FTC says shouldn't regulate because it's too mean. Oh, so is there... Let's see. Unlikely. Let's see. Can I get a quote? Federal ethics rules require recusal when a new commissioner previously has expressed views that go beyond general policy commentary and has made statements about specific factual and legal issues related to particular company. Wait, so literally because you have an opinion? Okay. Right. Last week, a splashy Bloomberg article claimed that Khan rejected the recommendations of the agency's top ethics official that she recused from a decision on whether to sue Meta over its acquisition of virtual reality firm Within. The FTC did sue to block the merger, but lost the case. The story was based on a leaked document from ethics official L'Oreal Pankey, which states in its first paragraph, "I do not find that Khan's participation would constitute a per se federal ethics violation. Nevertheless, this has sent conservative opponents of Khan into high dungeon. Yes. No. No. Wait. Do I not know how to spell dungeon? Isn't it Duggan? Fuck. I don't know. Into high Duggan. This issue 2 days before giving Samuel Alito op-ed space to explain why he didn't need to recuse himself over taking undisclosed fishing junkets alongside billionaires with business before the Supreme Court. Man, that fucking chef's kiss on that one. You're really gonna talk about ethics while you're giving like fucking Alito you're giving Alito a platform to defend himself from ethics questions? Gotcha. At the time of being named FTC, Khan worked at Columbia University along with her husband. This is perhaps the smallest number of work-related conflicts in recent FTC history, which is in fact littered with outrageous displays of what a reasonable observer might call corruption. Since the late 1990s, 31 out of the 41 top FTC officials worked directly for a company that has business before the agency, with 26 of them related to the technology industry. So keep in mind, like, that's a pretty stark number. 31 out of 41 of the regulators at the FTC all have worked for companies that they're then like regulating, which kind of tells you like, yeah, what they're upset about is that Lena Khan isn't one of those people, meaning she's not doing what business wants, which that's not what she's put in place to do. Christine Wilson was the FTC commissioner who brought the ethics inquiry against Khan in the Meta case. She has since stepped down in a huff with an angry burn book of a resignation letter published on the Wall Street Journal editorial page. Of course, because where do you go? Of course, these people go to Wall Street Journal editorials. Wilson, as doctrinaire, a believer in deregulation, as Khan is a believer of open markets, voted to allow Bristol-Myers Squibb's merger with Celgene after receiving compensation from Bristol-Myers Squibb for legal services. The Thundering Journal editorial on that must have gotten mysteriously deleted. Wow. Sheesh. Shocker there. Former Republican Commissioner Josh Wright, a bad Josh, a really not good Josh, who pulled off the rare revolving door quadruple play of going between Google and the government on 4 separate occasions, lobbied FTC officials several times in 2017 on behalf of Qualcomm, a top donor to George Mason's Antonin Scalia Law School, fuck that guy, Wright's employer, despite having, quote, personally and substantially worked on the case while at the commission. The Trump Justice Department failed to take up the case. 14 different top FTC officials have ties to George Mason's corporate-funded law school, according to the Tech Transparency Project. Lovely. None of this is particularly unusual. On either side of the aisle, Public Citizen documented in 2019 that since the late 1990s, worked directly with all 9 directors of the Bureau of Competition had revolving door conflicts. Over half of Department of Justice and FTC Commission competition lawyers between 2014 and 2021 rotated out to a corporate law firm, according to the Revolving Door Project. As I wrote in my book, Monopolize, one big law firm, Arnold and Porter K. Scholler, as an antitrust group that as of 2019 included, quote, the former Assistant Attorney General of Antitrust at the DOJ, 2 directors of the Bureau of Competition at the FTC, Deputy Assistant Attorney General for Civil and Criminal Operations of the Antitrust Division, Director in the Bureau of Competition at the FCC, 2 Chiefs of Staff at the Antitrust Division, and Assistant Director of the FTC's Bureau of Competition. These kinds of conflicts arguably violate American Bar Association rules. Oh, do they now? Is it not, does the bar recommend that, you don't constantly go in and out of the regulatory body and the from being a regulator to a regulatee? Could that be, I don't know, just a bit problematic? Maybe. And it seems like Lena Khan isn't that, and that's why they're mad. Could it be? Possibly. Arnold and Porter's Deborah Feinstein, fucking Christ. Deborah Feinstein, a former Democratic head of the FTC's Bureau of Competition, represented clients like General Electric, NBC Universal, Unilever, and Pepsi before the agency before rotating in to wave through numerous pharmaceutical mergers. Her old law firm counts pharma firms as major clients. Former Bureau of Competition Assistant Director Michael Moiseyev, who led many of those merger reviews that got approved, now heads the merger practice at Whale Gotzel. What the fuck is wrong with these names? And Mangs, Christ, representing Microsoft, Meta, and Eli Lilly before his former colleagues. Joe Simmons, the former FTC chair under Trump, also represented Microsoft, along with Sony, Sharp, and MasterCard. His Democratic predecessor as chair, Edith Ramirez, represented YouTube and biotech clients after leaving the agency. Maybe the most obvious example of the status quo at the FTC before Khan's entry is the case of Andrew Smith, head of the Bureau of Consumer Protection in Trump's FTC. Smith represented 120 different clients from virtually every walk of economic life, including nearly every major bank in America, drug industry lobbyist pharma, Uber, Equifax, Amazon, Facebook, Verizon, and a variety of payday lenders, to name but a few. In fairness to Smith, he did mostly recuse himself from cases involving these clients, giving him little to do at work. Probably still got paid, though. But when Public Citizen asked for all the documents, including Smith's conflicts of interest, they returned 495 pages of almost entirely redacted text. And keep in mind also, if you're like the FTC chair and you have to recuse yourself from basically every single case, like to like a ton of cases. Like that's a lot of cases. That should kind of tell you you're not exactly in the up and up. On one level, this long litany of FTC financial and ethical conflicts demonstrates the stupendous hypocrisy of the prior FTC establishment. The Federal Trade Commission was essentially a conflict of interest assembly line, moving through corporate lawyers and industry hangers on without resistance for decades. Oh man, okay, so to bring this back to gamers, because I know everyone loves video games here. Lena Khan and her FTC is probably a big reason why the big Microsoft Activision merger isn't happening. Because you can only bet that under a Republican, under a obviously more corrupt head of the FTC, would probably have already signed off for that. They probably already represented or worked for Microsoft once before, and they most likely would have given it a rubber stamp for them to own Activision. These sorts of decisions as to who's going to lead the FTC, who's going to actually, what they're interested in enforcing, incredibly important. On one level, this long-time litany of FTC financial and ethical conflicts demonstrates... Oh, wait, I read that already. I'm stupid. But on a deeper level, this reveals the total hollowness of the accusation here. With Lena Khan, we finally have an FTC head with no such conflict. Wow, that's amazing. No conflicts, no history of working for anyone whom the commission might regulate, and thanks to her anti-corporate moves, no prospect of a cushy post office career at the companies she used to regulate. We have a frenzied outcry over the fact that she has a point of view as if Christine Wilson and Josh Wright and all the other pro-corporate widgets assembly in the previous SEC corruption factory over the years don't. The real reason that the Journal and the corporate lobby gets so out of their minds about Khan is that she's everything they've tried to stamp out for 40 years, an effective adversary who focuses on the actual law rather than their feelings. They think corruption is when the government isn't doing exactly what they want all the time. Everything they've lobbed at her, they're far more guilty of themselves. This parade of smears is more than just an attempt to blunt her impact. It's a warning to other progressives that they will be slandered too if they dare challenge corporate power. Let's hope it's unsuccessful. And you know what? God damn it, man. If they're, I haven't been a big fan, not the biggest fan of Biden's what's it called? Of what am I thinking? Of a lot of Biden's run as president here. But I will say stuff like this is incredibly meaningful, and it's like small stuff. And like I can't even say small stuff because it is big, but it's like that where for all of the half-assery that the Biden administration engages in, this was one field that they absolutely did not fuck around in, and I do deeply appreciate their stance on that. We've gotten a great FTC chair out of it. And progressives, if anything, we as progressives should really be like trying to claim Lena Khan and her and her leadership of the FTC under our banner. I think more than because clearly Biden really isn't. He's not running defense for the gal, but progressives should absolutely be championing Lena Khan in this regard. But either way, love to see it. I love to see our corporate overlords mad because they're not getting what they want, because they probably never should. But all right. Is Zakov still here? Zakov, let me know that you're still here, because if not, then I'm going in the order that I originally had, which was we're doing the Russian story first. Yes, you are. Wonderful. Let's get into it, shall we? Okay, so since the war in Ukraine began, I have been hearing, we heard a lot of talk of the Azov Battalion. We learned a lot about Ukrainian Nazis, all the rest of this stuff. And a lot of it was, let's be honest here. In every country, you are going to find cells of extremists. And I don't really think, I remember somebody came on and tried to speak to me about this as if it was some kind of gotcha. And my point kind of stands, my position hasn't really changed on this. If there are Nazis in Ukrainian forces, as long as they're heading onto the battlefield to go and fight and die, Russian munitions, then that's perfectly fine with me. I want Ukraine to be a free sovereign nation the way they have been for the last, couple of decades. At the end of the day, these guys aren't calling the shots. They're not, what's the word? They're not, they're not leading the country, not leading the fighting forces, but nonetheless, they exist. And, take what you can get, unfortunately, when your country's being invaded. That being said, I noticed this article from The Intercept about Russian militia forces with links to neo-Nazi and anti-trans figures. So let's take a look at this. I heard a few of these names for the first time while reading this, but I thought it was a really cool read. So let's get into it. In late May, an alliance of anti-Putin partisans used Ukrainian territory to launch a stunning incursion into Western Russia, spearheaded by the Russian Volunteer Corps, or RVC, and its leader, Denis, names, Kapustin? I'm going to go with Kapustin. You can correct me if I'm wrong, Zakov. I have no problem with that. A wanted neo-Nazi and ex-soccer hooligan. The assault exposed just how vulnerable Russia had become to attacks since its invasion of Ukraine. For years, Kapustin has maintained public links with two notorious American neo-Nazis, Robert Rundo, the founder of the street fighting gang Rise Above movement, and Christopher Pohlhaus, an ex-Marine and leader of a group that terrorizes drag events in the United States. While Kapustin has been a regular fixture for years among European extremists, he gained minor popularity among American neo-Nazis when he started co-hosting a podcast in January 2021 with Rundo, a Charlottesville riot defender, now facing extradition to the U.S. from Romania. On the multi-episode show, the two men, avid mixed martial artists, discuss the benefits of active clubs, which are essentially fascist fight clubs that have sprouted up all over the U.S. Oh, yeah. That's right. I went to go look for this because I was kind of curious about, what the hell that even means. But apparently there are, little white nationalist groups all over the U.S. opening, their own little cute fight clubs where they can go and hang out with the boys and work out and fight each other and probably jerk off frustratingly. So, yeah. Good to know. Good to know. Fun stuff. Absolutely fun stuff. Hate to be a spotter for one of those guys. Let's see. But Kapustin, who also goes by his call sign White Rex, his personal MMA brand, or uses the last name Nikitin, I don't know, okay, has contacts that go further into stateside neo-Nazism. In July 2021, he also appeared in another 2.5-hour podcast with Pohlhaus, a 4-year veteran of the Marine Corps who only months ago, with a revolver strapped to his hip, led his so-called Blood Tribe in a protest of a drag event outside Akron, Ohio. I wonder if... Oh, okay, it's just the... Oh, lovely. Lovely symbol there. Looks... Okay. Go away with your fucking ads. Jesus Christ. All right, can we, take a second to appreciate how pathetic this fucking logo is? It's literally... I could have made... It's pathetic. It's pathetic. That's a pathetic logo. There's, bad Photoshop, and then there's that. Jesus. Be more embarrassed. Okay, let's see. The relationship appears ongoing. Pohlhaus has told his followers on the Telegram app in recent weeks that he wants to help his friend Denis, I don't know why they put that in quotes, in Ukraine, and plans to travel there to establish a neo-Nazi pipeline of volunteer soldiers to the cause. In the wake of the Russian mercenary leader... Okay. Yevgeny? Okay, how do you pronounce that? Is that Yevgeny? I know that's Prigozhin. I've heard people say that, but is his first name Yevgeny? Is that? I'm going to go with that. Prigozhin's mutiny against President Vladimir Putin's regime weeks ago. Kapustin illustrates just how radical some of the faces of armed opposition to Putin really are. Following RVC's cross-border operations, which featured American-supplied Humvees and other armored vehicles, reports rightly pointed out that the RVC and its politics could provide a boost for Russian propagandists who frequently accuse Kiev of being a kind of Fourth Reich. That's interesting because normally the USA always supports the nationalist forces in foreign countries to incite them against the government. Are you sure you are fighting for Russia and not against? Well, that's what we're trying. That's what we're reading about. Also, I'm not fighting anything. I just want Ukraine to be Ukraine. Where the fuck did I just leave off? There I did. Okay. Mostly composed of Russian ultranationalists with the stated goal of overthrowing the Russian Federation, the RVC is undeniably affiliated with the far right, with members often seen wearing patches with neo-Nazi symbols. Kapustin is also a known figure to German authorities, who allegedly had him banned from the European Union's Schengen area for his violent neo-Nazism and connections to the extremist MMA scene. The Ukrainian government, for its part, has repeatedly maintained that the RVC isn't officially part of its war effort or under its control, though the government admitted that it cooperates with and feeds intelligence to the controversial Russian partisans. Let me take a look. Kind of curious. Let's see. Ukraine's defense intelligence. Intelligence claims to provide information to Russian volunteers corps, but not military equipment. Interesting. So it seems like they're feeding them. So yeah, they're feeding them information so that they can, I suppose that's one of those, what is it? The enemy of my enemy is my friend sort of deals. Pohlhaus, known to his followers as, quote, the Hammer, has recently emerged as one of the more public and militant figures in the world of online American neo-Nazism, with confirmed links to Riley June Williams, the January 6th attacker who allegedly stole a laptop from Representative Nancy Pelosi's office. Wait, do I know which guy that is? Riley June Williams. Is that the dude I'm thinking of? With his feet up? Riley June. Oh, I don't want his Instagram account. Calm down now. Okay, fine. Jan 6. I mean, maybe it is Jan 6. Oh my God, never mind. I thought it was the other guy. Oh, man. Jailed after. Yep. Damn. Fucking hindsight is 2020. That's why I don't steal things, kids, especially from fucking representatives of the state. Let's see. Who allegedly stole a laptop from Angela's office. Pohlhaus moved to Maine last year and began building a property for an all-white community where his blood tribe could, quote, trade. It's also interesting that socialists don't mind Lenin attacking Poland and Stalin in 1939 too. But is Putin the bad guy if he does the same? Stalin also attacked Finland in 39. Cool. Let's see. Pohlhaus known as from. Oh, I read that word. This year, Pohlhaus and his group made headlines for twice showing up to drag events in Ohio and allying with NSC 131, another underground neo-Nazi group based in New England that recently threatened a New Hampshire drag story hour at his last Ohio protest in April. At a fundraiser for LGBTQ youth in Columbus, Pohlhaus, who never saw combat as a Marine, shocker there, paced with his masked followers as they waved a swastika flag and did the Sieg Heil salute to event goers. So, can we talk about for a minute? You know, like, I don't think I really need to substantiate this, but, you know, the whole Pohlhaus, who never saw combat as a Marine, when they list him as an ex-Marine, really is indicative of, like, the kind of person we're dealing with, huh? Like, this kind of sad, like, never was really a military guy, couldn't ever really square that round hole, and, like, clearly is just cosplaying for, you know, his own, like, buddies, it seems like, and for his own, like, weird, like, fashy goals. Like, it's just, I just feel like we see these guys. These guys are the modern day Civil War reenactors. They're the modern day what's the term for the lost cause? Yeah, they're just lost causers. That's like all this is. And it's like, oh, I wanted to be in the military so bad. I wanted to be such a Marine and blah, 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 but like could never cut it. And now is some fucking backwoods fucking militia member for like Nazis in the US. It's just, you know, these guys are quite pathetic. But yeah, yeah. No, not the 3%ers, but certainly similar. Let's see. Well, like, oh, Christ above. Like, get a life, fellas. Get a life. Let's see. What do we got? Anti-Putin fighters. Here we go. Though he previously showed little interest in the war in Ukraine, Polhaus told his followers this week. Sorry, I just heard a door close and it's kind of creepy. Told the followers this week in both an interview on an underground neo-Nazi podcast and in a lengthy message on Telegram that now is the time to join the war and help neo-Nazis like Kapustin. I will be going personally with a squad of mostly vets who have committed to the task. Polhaus wrote in a message viewed thousands of times on Telegram, explaining that, quote, if everything goes correctly, neo-Nazi, he would become the neo-Nazi liaison for the Anglosphere in Ukraine. So basically setting up a cell in a communications, line of communications. Cool. In almost daily state, I don't know why you even need that. It's the internet, you idiots. You already have how many lines of communications? In almost daily statements, Kapustin and the RVC publicly ask for recruits with military experience to join the Corps and provide forms for direct contact to their recruiters through Telegram. Okay, so they do know if you, like, you guys are going to get fucking fed-opt immediately. The RVC press account on Telegram has not replied to the Intercept's request for comment about links with Polhaus and the Blood Tribe. Quote, we see the glorious opportunity in this conflict because the American military is staying out of it. We get the chance to participate under our banner. You know, and let's be honest, that's the reason why this dude joined the military and couldn't cut it. Because it wasn't about being in the military. It wasn't about being a defender of freedom. It wasn't about fighting for justice. It wasn't about democracy. It wasn't about anything for this guy. This guy was clearly a half man looking for glory in the military. And when he got kicked out, looked for it in the only place he knows else. Militias in the backwoods. Kind of sad, honestly. Well, it would be sad if it wasn't a piece of shit. But yeah, not sad then. Yeah. I'm just too empathetic sometimes. I'm too ready to say I feel bad for people that I really shouldn't. Let's see. Though Polhaus has been known for grandstanding online, he is an extremist who translates his words into activism. He once organized a national counter-protest on the anniversary of George Floyd's murder and explained how to hypothetically use sniper attacks on the food supply chain in a stream video. Whoa, edgy boy. Also, what does it mean, organize a national counter-protest? Tried to exploit the anniversary of George Floyd's white supremacy anniversary in their propaganda efforts and sold merchandise. Oh, so he just made a bunch of money. So he's like just a grifter? Yep. Propaganda efforts, sold merchandise. Let's see. White Lives Matter. Yep. Several Telegram channels are widely shared far-right circles. Known device. Dropping banners over highway overpasses with the slogan, no more white guilt, and other variations of White Lives Matter. 4chan, Anonymous, National Initiative. Yep. Like, all of this is such a fucking grift. Like, because all it is like, all right, how do I tap into edgy, like, teenagers online and get them to send me money for a shirt that they probably won't wear in public because they know what would happen if they do. People that, yeah, like, good God. Let's see. He told The Intercept that his pledge to join the fighting in Ukraine is serious. Quote, I love Dennis and want to do everything I can to help him succeed. It's going to probably take us a couple years to be there equipped. So, okay, wait. He claimed that he will visit Ukraine to assess the situation firsthand. Of course, he said a vacation. Wait. Glorious opportunity. American military is staying out of it. We get a chance to participate under our banner. Wait, I'll be going personally with a squad of mostly vets who have committed to the task. And then, like, his follow-up is, it's going to probably take us a couple years to be there equipped. Yeah, like, he's not going to go. He's just, like, he's just not going to go. He like, because that's what this is. This is the, like, oh, I'm going to say that I'm sure he'll go for, like, the assessment part. But yeah, he's not going to end up going and heading to the battlefield. Why the fuck would he? Get his ass fucking shot and killed. Can't make money if you're a fucking martyr. Let's see. To group them all into that is very unnuanced take. Imagine if they weren't mostly white men. Just racism. Painting it. Well, wait. They're Nazis. I don't really think I need to. I don't really think I'm making a logical leap here, Murdercom. That all of the neo Nazis in the U.S. are white dudes. Picture of these awful people, but like, where are the? I think this guy is worth talking about. It's not a big group. Nobody. Just another idiot throwing his life away for false glory. This is true. He is throwing his life away for false glory. See, I don't actually think he's throwing his life away, though. I think he's just grifting for a lot of it. Or at the very least, he's, like, stoking a lot of it. But, like, he's not going to go over to, he's certainly not going to go over to Ukraine. But, like, at the end of the day, these are the groups that, like, these are the groups that are connected to each other across borders. I think it's important to know, like, who people are aligned with. Whether Pole House would be allowed entry into Ukraine is another question. With an ongoing civilian flight ban in Ukraine, Pole House would have to enter the country through bordering nations like Poland, the usual border of entry for foreign volunteers, or Romania, a country that has recently shown a willingness to arrest extremists from abroad. Both countries are in the NATO alliance, with policing and intelligence apparatuses that cooperate with the U.S. authorities. The Ukrainians, for their part, have shown very little interest in allowing neo-Nazis like Pole House to join their war effort. As far back as October 2020, Ukrainian intelligence made a public show of deporting 2 American members of neo-Nazi terrorist group Atomwaffen, I'm assuming, division. Both men, one of whom was a Marine dropout, shocker there, were attempting to join elements of the country's military efforts in the eastern Donbass region, which at the time was the site of trench warfare with pro-Russian forces. Kasper Rekowek. Oh, what the fuck? Wait, what is that? What is that name? Also, do I feel like this? Okay. Rekowek? I don't fucking know. An expert on the flow of foreign fighters into the war in Ukraine and a non-resident research fellow at the Counter-Extremism Project says that while there are neo-Nazis from abroad in Ukraine, the problem shouldn't be overblown. Quote, it's certainly not as bad as the Russian propaganda wants us to believe. The caution is warranted, and what I see is there is excitement amongst those far-right types online and offline. And keep in mind, that's also always been a line of like of Russia, that there's like, they're denazifying or something like that, which has always been bullshit. But, I think it's good to demonstrate that a little bit. According to, I don't know. Okay. There are very few neo-Nazi foreigners fighting on the front lines, while groups like Casa Pound in Italy, another fascist and nationalist political organization, have sent, quote, observation missions to Ukraine. Some of them take some supplies. They're usually medical or some tactical gear, but of course not weapons. Same dude. Added that talk of a pipeline of neo-Nazis into the war is exaggerated, while groups like the RVC have called for new recruits, non-Russian and Ukrainian-speaking foreigners who once joined the war in droves, regardless of political ideology, don't typically last on the front lines, nor can they be trained as effectively for combat. Quote, the capacity for these guys to offer meaningful change on the front lines is limited. These organizations are no charity. They're not there to train you. All right, yeah. There were initial fears among counterterrorism experts that the war in Ukraine could potentially attract a global movement of neo-Nazis, leading to the formation of an Islamic State-like network. But a year and a half into the war, most authorities acknowledge that Ukraine hasn't yet become a destination for the far-right movement. Nonetheless, American law enforcement officials have voiced serious concerns about people like Pole House traveling to Ukraine, fighting in the war, and then coming home. He ain't going to do that second one. At the outset of the invasion in March of 2022, an internal Customs and Border Protections report warned that American extremists interrogated at John F. Kennedy International Airport in New York before their departure flights were on the way to, quote, join the conflict. The bulletin openly wondered what kinds of skills those types of, quote, foreign fighters could learn in Ukraine that could then proliferate in, quote, U.S.-based militia and white nationalist groups once they return home. So I'm assuming this is like a, so it's kind of like a, they're going to get, I guess they're going to get like their little like slice of war so that they can come back and be real men or something, and then turn some of those tactics onto, I don't know, whatever weird LARPy bullshit they do here in the U.S. Certainly, I I guess certainly these groups like to go harass drag shows, so maybe they'll turn some of their attention and their tactics to that, which would be pretty bad. So yeah, I guess that's the it's the danger that poses here. Whatever the outcome of this latest call to volunteer for the conflict, or if it's simply a bluff to attract more funding to his personal cause, which I feel like it probably is, Paul has acknowledged it could be a while before the Blood Tribe appears in Ukraine. He told his followers that it would take time to pool resources and even vehicles in order to be autonomous on the front lines. Yeah, it's not gonna. At the end of the day, this is very much Ukraine's issue. Said same dude who thinks that the far-right elements within the Ukrainian military structure could be a problem when it comes to European Union or NATO membership for the country. Quote, it's up to Ukraine to call the shots, and it will certainly be an issue, but further down the line. Cool. Interesting. I don't usually really talk too much about the war. It's not really something I guess you could say I don't really find it to be that complicated, I suppose. To me it's rather simple. We have one a sovereign nation invading another unprovoked, and that's like kind of the long and short of it. We're helping them out. They're trying to make claims to undermine our support. One of those in the beginning, and I think it still kind of pervades a little bit, being Nazi forces. But the longer we go on, the more clear it becomes that all of that was just bullshit, which we should have already known ahead of time. But sometimes you gotta check it out to find out, I guess. But anyway, let's see. I haven't read any of these in a while. These are the biggest threats. Countries never stop fighting. They just keep fighting for the clients. Something that can also happen in Ukraine. Yeah, probably. White supremacy is a purely boogeyman created by the media. Wait, Murdercom, do you not think KKK exists? Do neo-Nazis not exist? No? Let's see. Atomwaffen division, it means atomic weapons. Oh, I didn't know that. Yeah, I wouldn't have known that one. Or more nuclear weapons. Yeah. Unprovoked. Wait. What does that have? Then wait a second. If the US did that, then why is Russia not invading us and they're invading Ukraine? Also, to my understanding, the Russian policy right now is that Ukraine is not a real country. They are still a satellite state. That is my understanding of their actual position on Ukrainian sovereignty. All right, let's take a look. All right, so ProPublica. Okay, so if you've ever been on the internet, you know that there's like a million ads, right? And you should know right now, I'm going to warn all of you right now, there are not hot singles in your area looking to fuck. I'm just letting you know that now from one friend to another. It's not a thing they're not in your area. They're not in your zip code. Take it easy. All right? But depending on where you are on the internet, you get a lot different kinds of ads. And ProPublica looked into a company called AdStyle, which has been placing ads on conservative websites to, quite frankly, trick and trick their, the viewers, the customers, I guess, the consumers. That's what I'm looking for. The consumers of these websites into clicking on sensational headlines and editing video and audio of people endorsing Trump or saying weird shit. This is kind of a, we've kind of always had dishonest, advertising for a long time. But what I find interesting is I suppose the what am I thinking? The really like open, I guess shameless nature that a lot of conservative websites advertise, and the way that they're just okay with fleecing their conservative readers and visitors to their websites. So let's take a look really quick. All right. Mysterious network called AdStyle is placing ads with fake endorsements from celebrities like Oprah Winfrey and Elon Musk on conservative sites based in the U.S. and abroad. All right. Where's like the actual article? I don't want to hear about the. Oh, here's a good example. Love that one. Love it. All right. Let's take a look. Should we read the intro? I guess we should. Oprah Winfrey looked upset. The photo caught in her mid-sentence. Oh, wait, no, this is the ad. Okay, yeah. This ad, okay. Such scam ads have proliferated on right-wing websites worldwide in the past 8 months. They use fake endorsements from celebrities, including Oprah Winfrey, country music singers Dolly Parton and Reba McEntire. I'm assuming that's what that is. Twitter and Tesla owner Elon Musk, actor Ryan Reynolds, Canadian Prime Minister Justin Trudeau, and former German Chancellor Gerhard Schroeder to promote dubious medicines and cryptocurrency frauds. Conservative publishers make money from each click on a deceptive ad, exploiting their like-minded readers. The ads were placed by AdStyle, an ad network whose corporate website lists it as being registered in Delaware with an office in Boca Raton, Florida. Its website said it is quote trusted by major brands including Toyota, IKEA, EA Games, and L'Oreal. But Florida and Delaware corporate registries have no record of AdStyle, which appears to be operated by a Latvian couple living in Italy. Spokespeople for Toyota and IKEA said they could not find any records for those companies working with AdStyle. EA Games and L'Oreal did not respond to queries. These ads are certainly terrible, said Kirsten Burnett, a spokesperson for McIntyre. Spokespeople for Trudeau, Musk, Reynolds, Schroeder, Parton either did not respond or decline to comment. This month, after reporters contacted AdStyle, the trusted by assertion and the brand logos were removed from the company's website. Since November, reporters from ProPublica, Sweden's Expressen newspaper, the Organized Crime and Corruption Reporting Project, and Paper Trail Media in Germany have viewed hundreds of AdStyle ads across scores of right-wing websites. The vast majority of these ads were outright scams or made seemingly exaggerated claims. This 197-year-old man, this 197-year-old man's longevity secret makes your cells 4 times younger, one pitch proclaimed. Okay, and we've all seen this before, right? We've all kind of seen this, these kind of like ridiculous, advertisements. And you might be sitting here and going, Josh, why are we talking about this right now? Like, we're all smart people here. We know not to click the ads. We know that your cells don't age backwards and nobody lives to 197. We know this. And yeah, let's be honest here. We understand this. You and I know this. We know that all of this is bullshit. But like, what I want to kind of demonstrate a little bit here is the utter, the lie that not just like conservative media, obviously conservative media lies to its audience quite a bit, but also keep in mind, this is what Fox News does. This is what a lot of these websites do. And this is what politicians do constantly on in the Republican Party. Like, the amount that they lie to their audiences, to their constituents, is insane. And the amount of damage that they're willing to do to their own voters, their own side, is also insane. The amount of grifting that goes on in the right wing is like so fucking stark. And I think this is a great example of it. This is small stuff. They're only going to catch the dumbest of the dumb who click on that ad because they want to see where the hot singles are. Even though, again, I've said this before, that they're not there. They're not looking in your area to fuck. They're not. Don't do it. Don't click it. Don't do it. But like, think about that. These people vote. These people are always buying the, Trump 2024, the rather be a I don't know, what is it? Rather be a Russian than a Democrat. All the rest of this nonsense, right? Like, they've primed this segment of the population to just like be duped just like buy everything that they sell them, even when it's bullshit and lies. Buying into a bunch of cryptocurrency. It's the same as the guys who tell you to go buy fucking gold. Like, it's just, it's nuts, man. And it's unfortunate because I feel really bad for these people because they are getting fleeced by the people that they look up to. Trump supporters constantly getting fleeced by Trump. You know, his tax cuts did not go to the average man. They went to top 1%ers? Like, I think it was like the top 10% is where most of the cuts went to, and in the hopes that it'll trickle down. And they've been told for so long, all of my life, that government regulation is bad, and that the free market needs to be left alone to do what it needs to do, and that the government is just there to get in your way and everything else. And this is, at the end of the day, the thing that we have a consumer protection agency, why we have the FTC that we talked about earlier, to like stamp down on some of this. And they've trained their voters to oppose the thing that they are targeting them through advertisements, through through clickbait, through like all this sort of stuff. It is sad. This time it is sad, and I don't have to dither on that one. Let me read this. Russia did not want to leave Crimea as a strategic base to the U.S., which controlled Ukraine from that point on. And Germany left us on the side of Russia. In the U.S., as always, people don't understand anything and support their terror government in the further wars. Okay. I'm just going to say okay to all of that, mainly because I don't feel like reading all of it. Since November, reporters from ProPublica, the vast majority of these ads, ad-style ads are often displayed on a network of more than a dozen U.S. conservative outlets connected to a lawyer whose clients have included former President Donald Trump. Advertisers pay ad-style to show their ads to web users, and the company splits the revenue with its publisher partners. Its ads are easy to spot because they carry an ad-style logo. I'm pretty sure, like, I've seen those before. The prevalence of scam ads on ad-style and its many partnerships with right-wing sites around the world exemplify how conservative publishers, politicians, and operatives profit from fleecing their fellow right-wingers, and how some players take the strategy global. Even the editorially conservative National Review has acknowledged the right's grifter problem. Deceptive ads abound on Trump's Truth Social network. I don't think I've ever been on Truth Social. I'm kind of curious now. Truth, like, do you have to have a... Let's see. Truth Social. Jesus. It doesn't even... It just comes up as Donald Trump. Is this like the only... Oh, do I have to create an account to see what's... Oh, well, that's fucking lame. Well, I'm not doing that. I'm not creating an account just to look at that. Deceptive ads. A recent New York Times investigation revealed how many groups of conservative operatives had raised close to $100 million using robocalls that asked for money to help veterans and first responders. Only 1% of the money went to those causes. And like what? Steve Bannon engages in a lot of this. Donald Trump, engages in a bit of this. And it's just like, wake up, guys. Like, for God's sakes. They're robbing all of you. And they're doing so with a smile on your face. Like it's disgraceful. Let's see. And this month, ProPublica reported on an IRS whistleblower complaint alleging that leaders of the 2020 election denialist nonprofit True the Vote had used donations for personal gain. True the Vote said the complaint was without merit. Yeah, I'm sure they did. Digital advertising has made it easy and lucrative to target people on the internet with scam ads and donation pitches. Besides ad-style, other networks and social media platforms have carried scam ads. Earlier this month, Harpo filed 2 federal lawsuits against people and companies it said use Winfrey's name and trademarks without permission in the market. Okay, I don't care about that. It's unclear who ultimately owns ad-style and how much money it and its publisher partners earn from the scam ads. Ad networks like ad-style act as a middleman by connecting advertisers with publishers. An advertiser signs up with the network, uploads the ads it wants to run, identifies the kinds of people it wants to reach, and sets a price range it's willing to pay each time someone views or clicks on an ad. And keep in mind, let's be clear, like, the way that these gets placed are strategic. Like, 100%. These are strategic placements. They're not putting these ads on Truth Social, on any of these conservative websites, because they don't think people click on it. They know that you are, if you're a reader of the National Review, for example, they know that you might click on some article that, you know, Oprah Winfrey's endorsing Trump or, you know, something about QAnon or whatever. They know that, you know, you're like, oh, is that true? That'd be, you know, that'd be a big development. And they know that. And for that reason, that's how they get you. And they make money off of you looking like an idiot and also probably getting some viruses. So, like, you know, same with the robocall stuff. Like, these aren't here randomly. You know, on Twitch and on YouTube, right? They're going to play ads every, I don't even remember how long it is, but they're going to play ads every once in a while. I don't get to pick which ads they play. I have no say in that. I have no ability to influence that. These are people's personal websites, like businesses' websites. They can pick what kind of ads they want, and they're choosing deceptive ones. They're choosing the ones that will target and trick people most effectively. And that's like the real harm. Let's see. Meanwhile, the network signs deals with publishers to place ads on their websites in exchange for a share of the revenue. It's unclear how ad style splits the revenue with publishers, but ad networks typically take between 20 and 50% of the revenue. Excuse me, Jerry. Oh my goodness. Wow, Luigi. Oh my goodness. Should I read all of this? This is so long. I'll read the last one. Leftists are on the side of Russia and the U.S. as always. People don't understand. Okay, whatever. Crimea. I don't remember us setting up a base in Crimea. I don't really remember that. I don't know how people plan it. Also, wasn't Yanukovych like a pro-Russia puppet? That's like the term. What's his name? I'm gonna look into this one time. This is why I always hate talking about the Ukraine thing. Everyone wants to be a fucking historian. Victor, if I just do that, do I get cool? Oh my god, this guy looks so fucking corrupt. This dude looks like every corrupt guy. Oh my goodness. Okay, let's see. Euromaidan protests. Oh, for fuck's sake. Presidency. Ukraine's parliament had inauguration, first days. Tax code, domestic spending debt. Well, what if I go to top? Okay. As a former politician who serves as the fourth president. Really, only 4? Has there only been 4 presidents? Wow, that's not that many. From 2010, was removed from office in the Revolution of Dignity. In 2014, after months of protests against his presidency. From 06 to 07, he was the prime minister of Ukraine. Also served. He has lived in exile in Russia since his removal from. Oh yeah, okay. That's what I thought. This is this guy. Governor of Donetsk. Yeah, I'm pretty sure I've like the president 2010, November 2013, series of events began that led to his ousting as president amid economic pressure from Russia. Yanukovych suddenly changed his mind and withdrew from signing an association agreement with the EU, instead accepting the Russian trade deal and loan bailout. This marked mass protests against Yanukovych, dubbed the Euromaidan, which met a harsh response from authorities. Civil unrest peaked. Almost 100 protesters were killed by police. Yanukovych signed an agreement with the opposition, but he secretly fled the capital later that day. Oh, so cool. So I don't know why you're bringing up Yanukovych. Like, he's not a pro-Russian politician, but okay. That's fine if that's what you'd like to do. And if that's true about German leftists, then German leftists are fucking idiotic. I'm okay with saying that. Anyway, all right. Should we go into the legally distinct fun half? Shall we? I think that'd be a good idea. All right. We'll be back in... Yeah. We'll do that. Yeah, I think it's a good idea. All right. We'll be back.
So do not shop at Target, or else you're gay.
Spit in my mouth, look in my eyes.
Just to simplify this, I think we're just going to use But may keep the pantyhose on. It does feel kind of good, actually.
Larger than that, Darby. I live like a capitalist every single day.
Beat it up, N-word.
What is more important? You are going to sex jokers.
I don't like them putting chemicals in the water that turn the friggin' frogs gay.
I like black guys a lot.
The alpha males are back.
Indeed, we are back. All right, let's take a little trip, shall we? To Tennessee, huh? Sound fun? No, I know it doesn't. Nobody likes Tennessee that much.
A panel of federal appeals court judges ruled 2-1 late Friday to allow a new state law banning gender-affirming care for transgender youth to take effect immediately. The anti-trans measure was previously blocked by a lower court following an ACLU lawsuit on behalf of 3 families and a doctor. The ruling marks the first time a federal court has allowed a ban on gender-affirming care to be enforced in the U.S. The decision came in response to an emergency appeal. Which
is also kind of wild, because the idea that, like, government is going to be arbitrarily deciding what is and what is not available to people from a healthcare standpoint. Like, so keep in mind, like, every single day, right, the government, you know, validates licenses to practice medicine and, you know, stuff like that, right? And, like, the idea that there's really nothing behind any of this, like, there isn't some big study to show, like, oh, there's, like, some dangerous thing that happens if you, I don't know, inject people with fucking bleach or something, right? Like, nobody found that and was like, oh, that's like a bad thing. We should probably not have that be available to people as like a medical procedure for COVID-19, let's say, right? And you know, at the end of the day, you can kind of show some harm behind that. Like, yeah, bleach is not good for you. Injecting it into yourself would be not good at all. But you know, there was like laws that can pass around that, or even executive actions. This is just a Supreme Court deciding, nope. We've now become health experts. Quite frankly, nobody who's made this decision is a doctor, is a health expert, is any of these things. They're just people with opinions, politicians who just don't really like trans people.
From Republican Tennessee Attorney General Jonathan Skrmetti, who called the ruling a big win. It ignores the guidance of major medical organizations. Similar legislation enacted by Republican-controlled legislatures in at least 20 states since 2021 has been blocked by federal courts in Arkansas, Alabama, Florida, Indiana, and Kentucky.
Ugh,
for more, we go to
states.
New York to be joined by Chase Strangio, Deputy Director for Trans Justice with the ACLU LGBTQ and HIV Project. And in Nashville, Tennessee, we're going to Holly McCall, Editor-in-Chief of the nonprofit news outlet Tennessee Lookout. Chase,
they just like Google a background, right?
Ruling.
Hi, Amy. Thanks so much. It is truly a devastating ruling, and it is, in some senses, feeling deliberately obtuse. The court had to distort legal precedent, the underlying factual record, and really common sense in order to rule against the transgender adolescents, their parents, and their doctors. There are large portions of this decision that have no citations because there's no citations to be had. And of course, what this means practically is that this law that goes against everything we know about gender-affirming care, that goes against the well-studied views of every major medical association, is now in effect. Families are terrified, and this is, of course, something that's happening.
And keep in mind, he's not lying there when he says every major medical organization agrees that gender-affirming care is the proper path forward for transgender youth. But, like, you can say that, and you know what's going to happen? Is, you know, some legislator is going to find the one doctor that they can, the one quack who sticks out and raises their hands and goes, I don't like trans people. I'll say it's not good. I'll do it. I'll be the one. And that's it. And they'll go, wait, no, there's a doctor right there. You might have organizations made up of hundreds of doctors, but I have this guy. So we're going to go with Bob's opinion here on trans people. That's all. That's what this breaks down to. This is actively searching for the minority opinion, the one that you want, that isn't backed up by more evidence, and just moving forward with that one.
Across the country, thankfully, when judges actually look at the evidence, they have been blocking these laws, and we are going to, of course, continue to fight this decision on appeal.
Explain exactly what happened Friday night, how you learned of this, and why this is so unusual. People might be saying, there are anti-trans bills being passed across the country. What makes this so different?
Yeah, so what's happening across the country is we have these bills that are being pushed and passed by Republican-led legislatures, of course, gerrymandered and voter-suppressed legislatures. And in this situation, you had a court, the district court, block the piece of legislation. The Attorney General of Tennessee then filed for an emergency stay at the Sixth Circuit Court of Appeals. This is sort of akin to what we see in the shadow docket at the Supreme Court, where you're just getting these rushed opinions in the course of perhaps 24 hours or less in some instances, putting this decision from the district court on pause while the case is proceeding. And of course, this then allows the law to go into effect, but the court isn't close to the record. There were hundreds and hundreds of pages of expert declarations, plaintiff declarations filed in this case. And in fact, the appeals court admits they may have got it wrong because it was rushed, which means, of course, they shouldn't have done this in the first instance. This was not a comprehensive, briefed appeal. This was an abbreviated process wherein the court interjected itself. And again, in many cases, had no citations and admitted that it may have got it wrong. But the consequence of that is that hundreds of trans adolescents in Tennessee are now without the medical care that they need.
And talk about the medical organizations that are opposed to this.
That's my reasonable point, by the way. How do you feel about her cancellation?
Every major medical association in the...
Anna Kasparian made a reasonable point, by the way. How do you feel about her cancellation? Well, I didn't finish the entire interview. I watched a lot of it. No, did I finish it? Maybe I did. I feel like I didn't, but I could have sworn I did. Either way, how do I feel about... Well, first of all, I don't know what point you're referring to, but I didn't see a lot of reasonable points being made in the interview she did with Sitch and Adam. I don't know if she's addressed or talked about it on the main show. In terms of her cancellation, Anna Kasparian isn't canceled. As far as I'm aware, she is still the executive producer of the Young Turks. I know she was doing a show all last week. So I don't really think she was canceled. She got pushed back and rightfully should have. And I was, while I don't use Twitter that much, and I don't think I tweeted at her. I'm pretty sure I didn't. I just don't use Twitter all that much. But certainly, I've responded to it online like a lot of other people, and I do not come down on the favorable side to her. I think excommunicated. Again, unless she's not the executive producer of probably the largest leftist show, I don't know who's. Wait a second. Okay, let's see. Because Haas is let's see, Twitch. I'm only going to use Twitch metric. That's the only thing I'm going to use, just because. What is Haas at these days? Just give me his fucking follower. 2.5 mil. Let's see. Is the Young Turks? I know that they're on Twitch, but we'll use this as a general metric. Yeah. What do we got? 54. Okay. Maybe not the largest leftist show on the internet. Haas has, God, he's fucking grown. But still, I think one of the longest running, certainly. She still has her platform. A lot of us in the center are looking at you guys on the left, and it's just too crazy for us to be involved with you. Even leftist thought leaders are jumping ship like Anna. Shouldn't that tell you something? Well, sensible center. I don't know if you're a troll, but I'm going to treat you as if you're not. The sentiment that you were expressing is the precise sentiment that everybody on the left, I'll explain why. Because this is the exact rhetoric and the exact rationale that people like me and others on the left criticized Anna for, is that she would be validating and in a way legitimizing the take of, hasn't the left gone too far? And you're doing it right now by going, don't you think you might be going too far? Because look at you, this one person who's ostensibly on the left, who's now what did you say, jumping ship. Like, that's kind of, you know, that's kind of the like a big part of the criticism is Anna at the end of the day is validating that kind of perspective for the benefit of nobody but herself. You know, at the end of the day, she didn't go on that show to advocate for any position. She went to advocate for herself as a better representative or a better source of information, which is like fine, but also that kind of means if you put yourself first above the movement and the values and a few other things, then like you're gonna get a lot of pushback, and especially again when you validate a lot of those, you know, because it's a pretty worn out playbook at this point. You know, Dave Rubin did it a couple years ago. Anna's doing it now. I think Kim Iverson did it at some point. You know, there's a litany of leftists who, well, I guess former leftists to a degree, who, you know, kind of get tired of how, quite frankly, difficult it is being on the left. It's not really that easy. We don't have, you know, donors the same way. We don't have the same kind of infrastructure. And, you know, people want to make money. People want to be successful. People want things in their life, want to, you know, be able to do more stuff, whatever it is that they want to do. And one way to do that is to kind of track to the center and, you know, maybe validate some right-wing arguments and framing that you don't really have to. Everything Anna said, like, was, first of all, contradictory to what she said before. She's understands the argument that everyone's making at her. She's just not really partaking. And the only reason why I say a troll is mainly mainly because there are, and I'm going to be fair to myself a little bit here. There are people who come in and pretend to be centrists and pretend to do like the, oh, you know, maybe you should, you know, you're a small streamer. Maybe you don't know how crazy the left is. You know, maybe you should come more to our side, which they're getting me to track to the center, but really they're just trolls trying to pull people to the right, which happens sometimes. That's the only reason why I say that, not to attack you or anything. One prominent person who's doing that. There's plenty of others, except they're not famous political commentators. Well, yeah, she's a political commentator, and her what's it called? Her commentary. Unfortunately for her, her commentary stands in stark contrast to her own rhetoric. She's already kind of explained why the rhetoric that she was talking about was is problematic and unproductive. Independent though, she posts her leftist opinions and gets. Kim Iverson was pretty leftist, or at least left-ish, when I found her back in like what 20. When did I start seeing her? Maybe 2020, 2019. I want to say it was like 2020 when I first saw some of her content. But yeah, and like she gets pushback from her audience, and she's kind of like moved to the center because kind of like Jimmy Dore, you know, like it's what's called what's the term for it? Audience capture. It's audience capture. It's, you know, you have a certain audience and they want to hear certain things, and you know, if it's going to pay you a little bit more, if you're going to get on shows like Rising, because I think Iverson took over at Rising for a while, and that's certainly not a non-lucrative gig for a little bit, but yeah, it's a lot of it's like audience capture to me. You know, these people get an audience that want to see them move more to the center, and you know, while they'll still claim, you know, some leftist values, the same way Tim tries to claim leftist values, it's I don't know enough of Kim Iverson's content. She just doesn't. I've heard a handful of her takes on stuff, and she seemed a lot more lefty a handful of years ago. You know, just maybe like 2 years ago. I don't remember when I first saw her like videos or whatever. But so waving now. I'm sure she leans left leaning. It's all about here. Let me be really fair to Kim Iverson here. Let me be incredibly fair. Because I do not watch her content. I never really did. I like noticed she exists. Oh my god, this is really okay. So this is like a pretty clear ripoff of like Rising. Like this is like almost the like where's the I don't know if I can find like the old Rising layout, but yeah, this is like the exact same thumbnail style. Let's take a look. It's all rigged. We're the reason our elections are not free or equal. Secret talks to end war in Russia. Former U.S. officials meet with Russians to bid end of war. So what do we got? We got RFK stuff. We got, I'm assuming, what is the, let's see. I'm going to assume this U.S. and Russian officials secretly meet to end the war. I don't even know where that really angles. Historic win for free speech. Judge blocks. Oh yeah, anti-Biden. Let's see. Ticking time bomb in Russia, Ukraine. Anti-Ukraine stuff. And by anti-Ukraine, I mean anti-us helping them defend themselves. Oh my god, this is like positive. The affirmative action repeal. Controlled demolition, shocking truth about, okay. Wait, what? Is this fucking 9/11 conspiracism? The shocking truth about World Trade Center 7 and the Twin Towers, stunning evidence of controlled demolition. Okay. Was Trump actually telling the truth about classified documents? Yeah, I don't know why people talk about Epstein anymore. We all know. Nobody thinks he killed himself. Like, nobody thinks, you don't have to fucking red pill anybody on that. Let's see. Prigozhin, dangerous game of extortion. Yeah, I don't know if I would call any of this leftist. Mainly because I don't know what her values are. Besides, like, anti-America, anti-Biden, anti-Democratic Party, for whatever reason, pro the affirmative action repeal, fucking 9/11 conspiracy. What is this? UN wants to track your purchases through a new digital ID system. Yeah, fucking tech conspiracies. First of all, they can already do that, I'm pretty sure. Oh my god, discovery or disaster? Like, come on. East Palestine residents still using water bottles to bathe. Like, it kind of just seems like she's very very Democrat skeptic and not very interested in like when it comes down to it, it's not always about what you cover, or it's not always about how you cover. Well, no, that's what it is. It's as much about what you cover and how you cover things. And I don't know, based on this, I don't know where this just feels like another copy paste anti-America, lefty, honestly kind of doomer like channel. RFK Jr.'s past authoritarian remarks, Pride Month too far. I don't know. It's just, I would have to like actually start watching her content. Maybe I'll make an effort, but boy, am I not looking forward to it already. No. Anyway, let me read this. Well, surprising because she didn't want to be censored. She seems. Wait, yeah, wasn't that Didn't she leave? Didn't she get like bodied on Rising about something, and then like she looked kind of stupid? Principles too, because she stands to gain nothing from her current position. The right won't like her more, and the left certainly isn't a fan. Well, it's not really about the right liking her. I mean, let's be clear. The Daily Wire will take her if she's willing to shift over. And like the idea that Anna would come out and be like, oh, career suicide to frame things from a right-wing perspective. I just think that's kind of bullshit, mainly because there's just more money on the right. Let's see. RFK would make a good leader, in my view. Wants to promote physical fitness and health, pro-peace, and is jacked. I'll be honest with you. Physical fitness is really easy when you're coming from like a dynasty family. And same with being jacked. It's really easy to stay in shape when you have access to basically all resources. And in terms of bringing pro-peace, that's very relative. There are people who are like, at the end of the day, what is the pro-peace position is kind of contextual now, isn't it? But interesting. I want to give you an honest assessment of your content, but you have to read it in full. We're sort of doing this leftist thing where you glance at something, don't look into the substance of it, and labels dismiss it, i.e. conspiracy theory, fascism, etc. Well, okay. Let's be really, really clear. I am kind of in the middle of like covering other things. I didn't really segment time to talk about Kim Iverson's political videos. It's not really the thing that I do here. I'm not her, I'm not the police for her. She makes whatever content she wants to make. Oh, appreciate that. Sensible Center. Let's see. And yeah, I think 9/11 conspiracies is kind of fair to make that broad assessment on pro-establishment, and that's kind of sad if you're a young man because it could be indicative of low testosterone rage, my friend. Don't go gently into the night. Oh no, my friend. Also, I appreciate you saying I'm young. You don't have to be rich to be in shape. That's a cope. Come on, dude. Don't make... Oh my goodness. Oh, good gravy. Let me ask you something. When people get really rich, or especially if you've ever, you ever seen Jonah Hill? Ever seen Jonah Hill? He was like really, really overweight when he like kind of popped onto the scene, right? And over time, I noticed this too, because I noticed this in like a magazine at like the grocery store the other day. It was like a whole thing with like Jonah Hill and a few, and what is her name? She's the Australian blonde one. I don't remember her name, but like all of them are now like in shape and like a lot like skinnier and like conventionally attractive, right? And like it always comes down to where it's like, all right, well, first of all, gyms are not free. Actually being able to afford good produce, not like kind of the garbage that we get, and also having the time to make food and everything else isn't always easy for people. That is not to say that you shouldn't make an effort, and certainly like there are a lot of workouts that you can do that don't require weights, don't require a membership and stuff like that. But like when somebody like RFK specifically is, he's really jacked at like 70, whatever. I'm assuming he's in his 70s. And that sort of thing. It's just like, yeah, like you have personal trainers and you have access to the best supplements, and like, you can work out with the best equipment, and you have all this free time because you don't have like a lot of people are working multiple jobs. RFK is not doing that. So it's just kind of like, yeah, I mean, if I had all the resources and everything else, I'd give me a personal trainer. I'd be in shape in a couple weeks, but not everyone has that. It's not as simple as just work out forehead. There's millions of Americans who can't work out because of a lot of different reasons, whether it be time or, circumstances. Some people have, health, like chronic health diseases, whether it be, you can't run because you have really bad asthma or whatever it might be. But I'm back and forth with leftists. Easy prey. Yeah. Oh, I'm glad I read that now. This is why I said a troll. Anyway, should we actually, Sensible Center, I'll throw this out now. I'm gonna do maybe like one more video, but maybe not. Here, how about this? If you want to come on, if you would like to come on, this is your open invitation to come on, and we can have a little chit chat. You know, we can have a fun little chat. Sure. Your options are Tuesday or Thursday, and there's an email. No, it's over here. There's an email right here. You can go ahead and do that, and just let me know what you want to talk about, the actual topics or whatever, and yeah, then we can schedule that out. I have no problem because I will say this: I don't really like having to respond paragraph to paragraph. It's just not nearly as fun as an open conversation. It's also not nearly as productive. But anyway, I'm getting back to the video.
The United States has opposed.
Also, let me read that message before, because I've done a lot of answering and I haven't gotten a lot out of you. So I want to know, what is the reasonable position that Anna took? That's what I want to know. I want to know what the reasonable position that she took was, because I don't think she took any reasonable positions, or at least they're very few and far between. So I'd be curious to know what you thought were the reasonable positions.
This type of legislation. And that includes the American Academy of Pediatrics, the American Medical Association, the Endocrine Society, the Pediatric Endocrine Society, the American Psychiatric Association. We're talking every mainstream medical association in the United States is opposed to this legislation and believes and knows from evidence and clinical experience that this is going to cause very serious harms to transgender adolescents. And of course, the states are raising arguments in defense of these laws that make absolutely no sense when tested by courts that are actually.
Okay, I'm glad you said the bonus hole one, because that's actually the one we're going to talk about. Bonus hole was first of all, that was a 3-year-old story. Let me get that clear. Anna quoted it as like a story out of the UK just last week. It's not. It's 3 years old. Secondly, the actual bonus hole suggestion was not for women, but for trans men. That's what it was for. For trans men, so that, you know, it was inclusive language for trans men, so that they don't feel uncomfortable having, you know, their body parts referred to this or that. It also wasn't a law. It was a suggestion as an alternative term for trans men, as like an option. It was really just a suggestion. But the hyper focus on that is the problem I have with that. Because like when you hyper focus on meaningless stories like that, you end up painting a picture that there's some kind of crazy lefty takeover or something, when there isn't. There was no law, there was no health board. It was just one activist group saying, hey, here's an alternative word that you could use, that when we ask trans men, they would be kind of cool with. That's all. Nicole. No, I just know the story. It's really a nothing burger. You're the one saying I'm in a cult, and yet you're really vehemently rejecting new information. I'm giving you new information, and you're kind of just outright rejecting its existence to continue to hammer home the preconceived notion that you already had. Keep that in mind.
Actually looking at the evidence. Arguments like the care has side effects, when we know that every medication has side effects. No intervention is perfect.
Do you want me to link the article?
That doesn't mean that we have states banning that form of care. And of course, these are the same states and the same individuals that pushed for the permission to have ivermectin to treat COVID when it had absolutely no evidence of efficacy, and are pushing against vaccines and masks in schools. And so this is, of course, we know to be a political argument in these states that are just categorically opposed to transgender people living full and thriving lives.
I want to bring in Holly McCall, editor-in-chief of the nonprofit news outlet Tennessee Lookout, which has been following this case, as well as Tennessee Attorney General's office demanding that Vanderbilt University Medical Center hand over medical records of patients at its clinic for gender-affirming care. Holly, can you talk about the significance of this?
You don't trust me, you can trust the source.
And the fact that Tennessee law grants the Attorney General's office authority to issue civil investigative demands. Explain what we're talking about here. Patients' information is being handed over to the Attorney General?
Yes, and this Attorney General is the definition
I'm glad somebody
of
in
an
the
activist You know, we often hear Republican
Got somebody turn her
legislators
volume
who
up
do
in
not
the,
like judicial
in the thing.
decisions talk about an activist judge or a judge who is legislating from the bench. But I think in reality, we have an attorney general who is an activist AG. He has spoken at anti-transgender events that were held in Nashville. He has not only requested the records of patients at Vanderbilt University Medical Center, which he claims is part of a Medicaid investigation.
And keep in mind, Sensible, the argument is not that this didn't happen. In the UK, a group suggested it. The critique that Anna is facing from me and other leftists is that her politics are being shaped, and she is disseminating, one-off stories to paint a broad, image of trans activists. Both her and Jank on TYT have made overtures to trans activists, and in a way, when you have to substantiate that claim and that kind of negative framing of trans activists, she turns to this bonus hole story. And the critique that she is facing is that she's focusing on a minor, nothing story to make a point that, inclusive language is bad? Wrong? What? She had the same freak out when, about birthing person a couple months ago. I don't know who called her a birthing person, but it's childish to have your entire politics be reshaped by one story or one suggestion. It's meaningless, and it's quite frankly petty and below Anna's normal political analysis.
Medicaid fraud, but he's also asked for records of people who volunteered to be buddies to people going through gender-affirming care. He's asking for this broad swathe of documents that really would have nothing to do with Medicaid fraud.
And asking for emails sent to and from a public portal for questions about LGBTQ health?
That is correct, and I think it's clear that,
overreach of the
as
government.
Chase remarked, this is not just a Tennessee issue. This sort of activity is going on around the country. There is obviously an effort to target LGBTQ Americans, and this Attorney General, he set up a special litigation unit just to take on issues like this, to address issues that could be addressed at the federal level. So I think this is extraordinary, even for him. We have not seen this kind of, I think, a gross overreach into people's personal lives. I have an acquaintance whose daughter volunteers, has sent in a couple of emails. She is now worried that her records are going to be open to the state, worried about what might happen to her. Will she face persecution? She is not an LGBTQ American. She is a Tennessean who wants to be supportive of her friends in the LGBT community, and now she feels that she is at risk.
And Vanderbilt notified patients.
Jesus. And the idea that you would be doing any of this, the idea that you would be looking into people's medical records and everything else, I'm fairly certain is that can't be legal. We do have HIPAA laws in this country, but unfortunately it seems like a lot of Republican states have abandoned a lot of sensible laws, or I guess have become more comfortable with law breaking. But either way, yeah, that's some pretty horrifying shit. All right, let's okay, should we do, I guess we already, well, let's do let's just go in order. Let's do Sound of Freedom. I want to laugh at people who think they know anything about cinema. All right, let me intro this actually really quickly. All right. If you spent any time on the internet, you probably heard about Sound of Freedom last week over the July 4th week, and how amazing it did in the box office. It crushed woke Indiana Jones, or whatever the fuck they're saying these days. Did it do that? Let's take a look at the framing, and then we'll kind of break down the reality here. Woke Hollywood media. What is this called? has a meltdown over Sound of Freedom. They can't stand. Yeah.
Sound of Freedom is shocking Hollywood in the mainstream media
My
right
God,
now.
there's
This small budget movie that's based on a real story.
Oh my goodness, this person is fucking hard as shit. Why is it? Okay. Can I ask a question? Why is it that every one of these nerd channels always have the same stuff? It's always fucking up in the. It's always fucking Kylo Ren. By the way, Kylo Ren, a fascist, by the way. And then it's always the fucking Killing Joke. Why? Can we get past the Killing Joke, please? Please. Can we get past the Killing Joke? There are so many other Batman stories. Long Halloween, Hush, which I know some people are kind of 50-50 on. I liked Hush for the most part. For God's sake, can we get over the Killing Joke? I get that it's like this edgy, Joker-centric, the world means nothing nihilistic thing, but even Alan Moore is yeah, it doesn't really work because Joker, if he's supposed to be nihilistic and doesn't care about the world, then why is he out to prove that anybody can be turned into the Joker? If he was really a nihilist, he wouldn't care one way or another. Even Alan Moore agrees at this point, and is yeah, I mean, it's kind of just edgy, we killed Barbara Gordon, we insinuate that she's sexually what's the word, sexually assaulted and everything else. It's just come on with this, bro. I just read the plot of this movie. Hot damn, what was thinking? Yeah, it's a movie
about child trafficking, and preventing child trafficking is doing incredible things
Indiana
at the box office. Despite the fact that it only cost $14 million to make, and there was barely any real promotion for this movie, it actually beat Indiana Jones and the Dial of Destiny on 4th of July. And all through the rest of the week, it's competed with the massive budget Disney movie, and on a per theater basis, it's actually annihilating them. But apparently,
it's annihilating
the message about,
them on
hey guys, human trafficking, child trafficking is a bad thing. Apparently, that is a political message now, because some people in the woke media are having an absolute meltdown.
Okay. Let me do my quick review of Indiana Jones 5. Better than, definitely better than what was the last one? What was the last one? It's the Crystal Skull, right? Definitely better than Crystal Skull. Okay, the only one I need to rewatch to place it is Temple of Doom, but it is either 4th best or 3rd best. Or no, wait. Would that be third best? Yeah. I hesitate to say that it was better than Temple. I know Temple is the worst of the original trilogy, which I mean still good movie, but yeah, it depending on your how much you like Temple of Doom, I feel like it's either just slightly ahead of that or in the 4th slot, but certainly better than Crystal Skull. Crystal Skull, I was a bit of an apologist when I saw it back in the day. I was this isn't that bad. What the fuck are people complaining about? But more recently you watch it, you're yeah, this isn't very good, and the CGI kind of sucks. The CGI is a lot better in this one, and overall I think it's just a better film, just in general, over the other one. But yeah, Sound of Freedom. Yeah.
It's incredible to imagine that people are actually going out of their way to try to bash.
Anyway,
and all through the rest of the week,
I want to get to these claims.
Child trafficking is doing incredible things at the box office.
Incredible things, guys. It's doing amazing.
Despite the fact that it only cost $14 million to make,
$14 million.
And there was barely any real promotion for this movie.
This is
it
true.
Actually beat Indiana Jones and the Dial of Destiny on 4th of July. And all through the rest of the week, it's competed with the massive budget Disney movie, and on a per theater basis, it's actually annihilating them. But apparently,
so let's take a look.
Apparently, the message about, hey guys, human trafficking, child trafficking is a bad thing. Apparently, that is a political message now, because some people in the woke media are having an absolute meltdown over this movie.
Did he just say child trafficking is apparently now political? Yeah, it's. What do you mean? It's always been political. Yeah, that is a political statement. That is political. Yep. All right, Sound of Freedom. Let's take a look. Where is it? July 4th. So, all right. So for anybody unaware, my first job was working at a movie theater. I currently still work at a movie theater. The theater industry is probably the only industry that I'm really, like, I've really been involved in over the last 10 years and, like, actually worked in. So there's a reason why, like, these sorts of stories really get under my skin. So let's take a look here. So July 4th, Sound of Freedom. So the big claim here, right, has been, oh my God, Sound of Freedom, this tiny indie movie, $14 million, keep in mind, that's not really much of an indie movie, $14 million, kind of religious Christian QAnon, whatever the fuck, little movie, goes and beats Indiana Jones on July 4th, toppling it, making $3 million more than it. On this amazing, oh my God, can you believe it? Can you believe that this small little movie ended up making more on one day than Indiana Jones? Well, let's dig into that a little bit. Indiana Jones did not release the same day. It did not release on the 4th of July. Indiana Jones and the Dial of Destiny released on June 30th, which is, if you know how to read a calendar, 5 days before that, or maybe it was 6 days? How many days is that technically? Because technically it makes money Thursday as well. So that's like what? So what do we got? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So yeah, on Indiana Jones's 6th day in the box office, on its first week of screening after its opening weekend, was beat by Sound of Freedom. Now, you might be saying to yourself, but Josh, that's like nothing. It had been in theaters for an entire weekend. It was on its 6-day run, on its the 6th day of its run. Why is this making news? And the real answer is some of these geek, I don't know what this guy's angle is. He kind of seems like a geeks and gamers type. It seems like he has the exact same layout actually, just with fucking palette swapped. But a lot of these kind of, Gen X content creators have gone the way of grifting for the right. They'll lie, they'll pretend that movies that are right-wing are successful. I remember I saw a bit of this on Tim Pool's show where he tries to claim that, like, Squid Game is, like, a right-leaning show, and they have, like, no media literacy over there. But, like, they're desperate to look like they are the cool and successful and the real sort of I'm looking for, the real popular choice, that they're not the silent, that they're not the they're not the loud minority, they're the silent majority, right? Because that's what they've told themselves, like, since the dawn of time, it feels like, or at least since I've been paying attention to politics, that it's always like, oh my God, everyone agrees with us, it's just they don't report on it. Oh my God, everyone loves our movies and everything. And it's like, guys, it's its 6th day. If we really want to do the, like, oh, Sound of Freedom beat Indiana Jones made $249 million worldwide. Let's see, Sound of Freedom has made, let's take a look, $41 million on a $14 million budget, which isn't anything, like, it's making money. Certainly it's making money. But is this the massive, runaway success that conservatives want it to be? No, it's just not. If we take a look at its performance throughout the week since its opening, we have, I'm actually going to have to change this. I'm so sorry. It's going to get really bright. July 4th, bringing in $14 million, basically meaning it made its budget back on its first opening day, which nothing to snuff at. Now, granted, keep in mind, July 4th, this was also a holiday, meaning that there was not really all that much competition on a Tuesday. Most everybody was, grilling. Most everyone was chilling. At the end of the day, Sound of Freedom, I keep wanting to say Sound of Fury. I don't know why. I guess that's what, that's kind of what it really should have been called, or at least that's what the conservatives are doing. But either way, it opened on a weekday, on a holiday, with no competition, with its closest competition already premiering in the previous weekend. And this is the win for them. This is the win. This is the big win that conservatives wanted. Now, I want you to take a look, if you pay attention here, at this incredible drop. A drop of 71% the next day. The next day is July 5th. It's a normal day of the week. So that's going to give you the actual what its opening was going to be. You have another drop down in Thursday, and then, whoa, look at this. A nice bump up on what is this? Oh, Friday. Still hasn't recovered its full it's what's it called? Its full loss on its second day. Back up another 37%. It's recovered a little bit of that. And on Sunday, it recovered another 1.7 percentage. You know, we're sitting right now on Monday. Do you think this movie is going to continue to make, you know, that much more money? Do you think that we're going to see another increase today or yesterday? It's not. The movie did well. It popped on its release date because there were a lot of groups and organizations buying bulk tickets and sending, you know, people sending their church services, stuff like that, to this sort of movie. But this is about what you can expect for a ideologically driven movie. You know, in its first real weekend, it ranked third amongst, let's see, what all was out this weekend. What are we looking for? July, not really a lot, to be honest. Oh, Insidious came out. Shit, I didn't even remember about that. But yeah, let's see. July, no. What am I looking for? 23rd? No. June? No, that's June. Am I just stupid? Oh, we don't have numbers yet. Oh, no, wait. 7th through 9th? Let's check 7th through 9th. What do we got? Insidious, like, oh, goodness gracious. Insidious making $33 million on its opening. Indiana Jones staying in the second position. Sound of Freedom in third. Elemental drops to 10. And this is the thing also. The industry of, like, filmmaking and film distribution, it's not like the big flashy, like, number one in the country, the Marvel Cinematic Universe whatever thing, or the Pixar has done it again, or the Sound of Freedom beats Indiana Jones. That's all of that is fluff, because what you're actually looking for is something like Spider-Man. A good example, across the Spider-Verse at $642 million. And as you can kind of see, as you go in through here, this has legs. Like, what? It premieres on, where's this premiere? June 2nd. It premieres 51 million. Its first weekend's pulling in 120. The next week, it's still pulling in double digits in the millions on its weekdays. Onto its second weekend, still like pushing into the 20 millions. Like, these are movies that have legs. This is what the industry is looking for. Is this, not fuck, I can't do this middle line, but this like nice trend. Like, you have your ups and your downs, obviously, but you're consistently like, just keep going. They could keep Spider-Verse in theaters for like 2 months and it'll continue to make more and more and more and more. Now, I can't tell the future, but something tells me that Sound of Freedom is not going to have the kind of legs that something like Across the Spider-Verse will have. I don't even think it's going to have the legs that maybe Indiana Jones will eventually have. It's also why, keep in mind, he also said that per theater, because that little caveat allows him to skew the numbers a little bit, and basically do like the per capita, even though that's not how the industry ranks or measures anything for that matter. So like, if we look at this, it released in 2,852 theaters, whereas, if I can find it again, Indiana Jones released in what is that? Double that? 4,600? So keep in mind, they have to neuter half of the theaters that Indiana Jones is screened in for them to get a favorable number. Keep that in mind. That's not really how that works. This is what we call fishing for a favorable metric. Anyway.
Movie. It's incredible to imagine that people are actually going out of their way to try to bash this thing. Human trafficking film Sound of Freedom
really a great
trashed
movie
by liberal outlets as QAnon adjacent.
Where is he reading
Jezebel
this?
claimed at last QAnon can't appeal
what
the
site are you
cinematic
using?
exploration
Okay,
it
wait a minute.
demands. You saw places like Jezebel with headlines like that. You see The Guardian,
There's a goddamn
Sound of Freedom,
Jezebel.
the QAnon-adjacent thriller Seducing America. Jim Caviezel stars as a hero trying to stop child traffickers in a paranoid new movie turning into a surprise box office hit. The idea that this is just paranoid conspiracy theories. This is real. This is a real fucking story. Obviously, like all movies, there's probably a little bit of hyperbolization to some things to make it a little more entertaining. But in terms of the core of the story itself, it is real. Tim Ballard and his life, this is Operation Underground Railroad.
Oh, by the way, you remember when I said that this dude kind of seems like a copy pasta Geeks and Gamers? Yeah.
Box office breakdown.
Shut the fuck up, guy. Like, same squares, same boxy layout. Like, this is pathetic. Dude, what is this dude's name? Something? I don't even know who this guy is, by the way. I just picked him because he looked the most pathetic.
Road, right? They are an actual
Sound of
charitable
Freedom is the
organization
story of Tim
that actually
Ballard, a former
rescues
U.S.
children
government official.
from slavery and child trafficking rings and things like that. This is a
Literally
real
right.
thing.
I know
This
he
not
is.
some
Because, like,
conspiracy
you have
theory.
to do that,
This is not
right?
some
Like, you
political
have to be
movie.
like, oh my God,
There's
oh my
nothing
God,
to
oh my God,
politicize
oh my
about
God,
it,
guys,
apparently,
oh my God,
unless
oh my
you're
God.
a
It beat Indiana Jones on one day, and it was the sixth day that Indiana Jones was out, so it really doesn't mean anything because it was also a weekend if I've already seen it in the weekend before. Oh my God, can you believe it? Can you believe it? Oh my God, the right wing's rising. Ah, like that's.
Washington Post
Like, that's
and
all.
Rolling Stone
It's
both
just like
praised
hope,
cuties.
hope,
Both
hope,
are now
hope,
attacking
hope,
Sound
hope.
of Freedom. Well, look at Rolling Stone. Reviews Sound of
QAnon
Freedom. The
tinged thriller
QAnon
about
thriller about
child
child
trafficking
trafficking is designed to appeal to the conscience of.
Oh yeah, is this like is this their actual review? I'm assuming it's going to be their actual review. Sound of Freedom is a superhero movie with dads with brain worms.
Conspiracy adult boomers. This is getting destroyed right now. There's Savannah Hernandez. 15,000 comments to less than
15,000 comments.
They are getting roasted for this. Washington Post was getting roasted for this.
Dude,
yeah,
this is how you know you live online. Honest to God.
About a movie that's talking about combating human trafficking.
And you know what's really funny? Like, to speak about the broader politics of this, right? Like, the idea, because I heard about this movie before it came out. I already knew about this movie, and I was already aware of like the church groups that were buying tickets and stuff like that, right? And like, this is the thing, right? Because what this studio, whoever made this and the people who made it and these guys who are promoting a lot of it, what they're really excited about is that Americans are going out to see a movie to tell them that human trafficking bad. Now, I don't know about you. I don't know about you guys. But I did not need a movie to tell me human trafficking bad. That's just me. As far as I know, Americans, since the movie Taken came out in 2000, whenever Taken came out, like, I think we all kind of were like, oh yeah, that's right. That's like a thing that happens, like human trafficking. Right. That's not good. That's like not a good thing. And even before that, I'm sure there's movies. That's just the one that I think of when I think of human trafficking. But what? And this is the thing. This is how it was framed to me when I heard about this. It was framed to me by somebody that was like, oh yeah, this movie's coming out, and hopefully people go and see it and they understand, and it's an issue that Americans really aren't aware of, that human trafficking is a thing that happens. And I can't help but be like, so your activism, your action in the wake of human trafficking is you're gonna go sit in a dark movie theater, eat your fucking popcorn, and what? Whinge at the idea of people being trafficked from other countries? Instead of donating to maybe a organization that investigates and helps get these people out instead of literally any other meaningful action you can take, you're gonna what? You're gonna go watch a movie. You're gonna make a director money. You're gonna go make this guy some money. You're gonna go make the studio money. You're gonna go make the advertisers money. You can make a movie about it. I don't think making movies about issues is bad, but how many people, this is the extent of their, oh my God, can you believe human trafficking? Watch this movie. You'll understand it's bad. And then the follow-up is like, all right, so what would you like to do about it? Are you donating to groups? Are you like investigating any of this stuff? Like in the sense of like, are you trying to find an organization that you can trust and to send your money to who maybe like help people get out of those situations? No. Everyone goes and fucks off back to their church, back to their wherever, and they all give themselves a pat on the back because they saw the human trafficking bad movie. And like, keep in mind also, it also paints itself as a true story. And, all I got to say to that is, what else was a true story? What else was based on true events? Texas Chainsaw Massacre. So, I mean, it's just a way to, I think, just politically neuter people. Where they think this is activism. This is the cause right here. Go see a movie and you're a better person.
In saving child slaves, right? And then you have them talking about cuties. Thanks to a major marketing mistake, the award-winning French movie Cuties was accused of sexualizing young girls. It's actually a sensitive portrait of the growing pains it deserves to be seen. Weird.
So, yeah. I've never seen Cuties. I heard it's like really, really sussy, but it's also like a French film. And there are quite a few French films that are incredibly sussy, but are made with like, I think, an artistic lens. Sound of Freedom isn't made for an artistic, like, wasn't made because there was some artistic value behind it. It was just, some guy sold his personal, we don't know if it's fake or not, believe him, it's based on true story about his experiences before he left government work, I guess. I looked into a bit of it. It was a bit unconvincing and unsubstantiated. But yeah, and this is where conservatives will always fall apart. They have a real inability to create meaningful artistic media. It's all like, it's all like like this weird like obsession with opposing like other forms of like artistic expression, I suppose. Actually critiquing sexualization of young women, but yeah, I did find certain scenes. Yeah, okay, so that's kind of what I heard, is that like, so from what I heard, I didn't see it, and good for you for watching it with your mom. That's a bold one. But I heard that is kind of the point. It's supposed to be a stark critique of the sexualization of young girls. Like, that's kind of the point. But the problem is you can't, like, what's the word I'm looking for? You can't, what's the word I'm looking for? You can't, I suppose the filmmaker didn't like want to be like vague about it and didn't want to like avoid the awkwardness and the grossness of it. So it seemed like it was more of a film that's like, no, you're going to deal with the like starkest, realest, like the nastiest parts of this, so that you get an understanding of why this thing bad. Like it's pushing the envelope as far as it can to kind of be damn it, I can't think of the word I'm looking for. It's not controversial. It's like shit. It's like a different word for controversial. I can't fucking think of it. Polarizing, maybe? Yeah, maybe polarizing. But like it's looking to like get a reaction out of you and to like kind of disturb you in a way, I suppose. Like not in the same way horror movies can, but like the same way like there are really, really extreme horror movies that are supposed to be like, that don't like fit, like look away from the awfulness of like bad situations. maybe like, I don't know. I haven't seen Marriage Story, but I've seen that clip of them fighting, and it seemed pretty realistic. Like that sort of stuff. I can't think of like one off the top of my head at the moment, but like, you know, like you want to push the envelope to be like, no, you get the point. Moving on.
Right? Weird how they have those two opposing opinions.
Uses an unflinching look at what it means.
Right?
Yeah. What's funny is this idiot can't understand the word unflinching. Like,
beauties, but then they say Sound of Freedom,
low budget film about
child sex trafficking, almost topped the box office, but it starred Jim Caviezel's LinkedIn to the QAnon movement. It is laughable, the attacks that are going on right now. Here's Washington Post. They're getting ratioed.
Yeah, it seems like a QAnon.
The attacks
it also
are low
seems to be like a real like QAnon.
But it's exactly what so many people apparently would expect. Some of the woke freaks out there, including the mainstream media, will apparently stop at nothing to try to bring this movie down.
God damn right.
You really shouldn't go see it because of this. It's really linked to all these.
Also, by the way, I want to say for my own, since this dude's trying to be that guy, let me just say this now. Have I once in this segment said, don't go see the movie? No, I haven't. But I've critiqued the way that they've covered the movie. Let me be clear. I am nothing but fair. I would never say don't go see the movie. But if we're going to report on like movies and the business of movies, then we should be honest. And these sorts of guys I can't stand because they lie so constantly about the business of movie making and of movie distribution. Again, this is the industry I like mostly have worked in a lot of my life, so I do take this a bit personally because it gets annoying to hear people misrepresent and misunderstand how like movies are distributed and what is and isn't a success at the box office. And if you really want to see let's see, where's the can I get the budget? Can I get a budget? Can I get a budget? Can I get a budget? Do I not have a budget? Fine. I'll let this play while I look for the thing I'm looking for.
This is not a political movie, and even though there is some faith-based stuff in it,
there's politics and everything.
I wouldn't even call it a Christian movie or anything like that.
I get the feeling this guy's also one of those everything's politics that I disagree with.
Way overperforming expectations. Then on a per-theater basis, destroying Indiana Jones. I'm sure a lot of people in Hollywood might be freaking out a little bit about this. Maybe that explains why some people in the media have come out so hard against it. I highly recommend, if you have an opportunity.
If you want, okay, here we go. Do you want to see an actual like runaway? Do you want to see an actual runaway? I don't know about runaway, but like, do you want to see a better representation of a movie that like he's talking about that's like small, does really well, makes a lot of noise, like comes out of nowhere? You want to see a real example of that? I will show you. Skinamarink. If you've heard of this, then you watch too many films. It's like super fucking indie. Made on a budget, according to Wikipedia, which I'm sure is not all the budget, but made on a budget of not $14 million, $15,000. This movie cost less than some people's cars to make, and it made $2.1 million worldwide. A actual underground hit that has actually stirred a lot of conversation and a lot of discourse, especially in the horror community. So like, you know, this is, and like, again, it airs in what, 600 theaters, ends up making 800, like, oh, what is that? Maybe a little bit less than 200,000 for its, what's the word? Than $1 million, sorry. And yeah, like really, really polarizing movie. It's like really weird. I have not seen it yet. I at one point will, but like you can kind of see where it's like, all right, it makes like 300,000 its first weekend. What does it make? It made 818,000 its first weekend. MLK Day, it made another 76,000. And this, like, you know, these aren't very large numbers. Actually, these are actually pretty decent for what it is. But like the return on this for $15,000, you make, what is this? 2 million? Like that's pretty fucking good. You know, this is the example of an actually like small movie, one that didn't have a bunch of people buying tickets for their churchgoers. Like this isn't actually, and not only that, I think this was on Shudder, if you know what Shudder is. It's like a streaming site too. So this also got cannibalized by its own streaming offering. But yeah, it opened in January, and I think I heard about it a little bit later. There's like a huge bump here on 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. On its 8th day, there was like a huge 200% increase because everybody heard about it and they were like, yo, there's this really weird horror movie. It's very polarizing. It's very weird. I've seen his previous short film. Really weird. But I mean, this is a movie that's like pushing the envelope on like cinema and stuff, and an actual like dark horse, not $14 million. You know, you make your budget back in one day from selling a bunch of tickets to churches and shit. There's nothing wrong with it, but it's just, you know, it's a lot of astroturfing, I find. But anyway, all right. Should we? I kind of already talked about Anna, so I guess let's do the AOC betrayal to AOC, and then yeah, since I already talked about Anna, and I feel like I've now demonstrated that from my conversation with that centrist guy, quote unquote. Let's do the AOC betrayal thing, and then we'll play the Alien demo. Yeah.
New York progressive Alexandra Ocasio-Cortez has endorsed President Joe Biden's 2024 re-election
The reason
bid.
why I question if he was a troll or not.
So, president's only primary opponents are Marianne Williamson.
Wait, excuse me? Wait a minute. Has this been Jon Favreau this entire time? Okay. I'm gonna crack an egg on my head right now. Every time I heard about Pod Save America, I thought when they mentioned Jon Favreau, I thought they meant the Jon Favreau. I mean, I guess this guy is the Jon Favreau, but you know what I mean. Director of Iron Man and other good movies, Chef and stuff like that. Shit, I didn't know this. I didn't know there was another Jon Favreau. Well, fuck. I'm kind of disappointed. God damn it. Okay. I mean, actually, no. I'm not disappointed because I've heard they kind of have cringe takes sometimes. And I don't want Jon Favreau to have cringe takes because I like his movies. I'd rather this Jon Favreau who doesn't make
any
movies.
rumors about anyone else even thinking about jumping in. Will you be supporting Joe Biden for re-election?
I believe given that field, yes. I think he's done quite well given the limitations.
Given that field. Wow. What a wow. I didn't know she added that caveat. That like change. Okay.
That we have.
I saw everyone complaining about this, but now I'm already of the side of like she said, given the field, like
presidency.
What do you want her to say?
There are areas that I think were quite strong when he came right out of the gate with the American Rescue Plan, and of course the Inflation Reduction Act was a massive step in terms of our climate agenda. But you know, there are also areas that I think.
I can see why Sam hates when people wear their AirPods when they call into the show.
In this country, and I think
God, it sounds like
starts
shit.
with the United States Senate, and I think that until we have senators that are willing to stand up and stare the filibuster in the eye and stare a lot of structural issues about the Senate in the United States Senate will be what holds back
you tell it
this country from an enormous amount of progress.
AOC also joined former White House.
Okay, come on. Okay, back me up here. That was like the saltiest transition I've ever seen in my life. Like, holy shit.
A lot of structural issues about the Senate in the United States.
Fucking run that back, DJ.
This country from an enormous amount of progress. Dude,
I can feel the temperature in that room like raise. Like, oh my god. The fucking fury. Oh man. Oh man.
AOC also joined former White House Press Secretary Jen Psaki
on
her show yesterday, talking about her political future. Let's take a look.
Dude, they fucking love bitching about Jen Psaki.
I mean, maybe, you know, I think
All right, I'm gonna be a cuck for like 1 second. Jen Psaki, love her hair. Great. Love our redheads.
I've always tried to approach my service in a way of what really
I don't know about this outfit. I do like the green, the emerald green with the. It is a good look. It is a good look.
My service, then I will. If it's best for me to continue my service in a different form, then I hope to do that
like
as
in
well.
the Senate, for
example. Like, come on, man. Like, jeez.
So if you, put those two clips together, she certainly does actually sound like she's suggesting that the Senate's the problem. Maybe I should be in the Senate.
It does sound like that.
Well, yeah, the Senate is like gridlocked.
This was a very disappointing moment for her. We are, 18 months out from the actual election. There's plenty of time and opportunity for her to delay her endorsement, even if you think ultimately she's going to endorse the incumbent.
Then what does it matter? If 18 months out from the election, what's the difference? If she's going to endorse the guy and there's no other options. See, this already falls apart because she already said, given that field. Like, that is the field. You have RFK Jr., Marianne Williamson, or Joe Biden. Like, given that field, I wouldn't hesitate either.
Bernie Sanders endorsed Joe Biden, I believe, the day that he officially announced that he was running. And now here comes AOC, who says specifically, given the field
betting on a winning horse.
That exists, I will endorse Joe Biden. Many people look to that and say, well, you were a candidate that got into office as a DSA-aligned candidate whose central issue was Medicare for All, which Joe Biden virulently opposes and says he would veto.
Are they supporting
even if she were able to reform the Senate in these magical ways?
Also, she's not a DSA representative. She's a representative of a district in New York. I get that she's aligned with the DSA and that like they share values, but like, just because, and I don't know what DSA's position is, but if DSA wants to be fucking stupid and like endorse Marianne Williamson, they have all the right to, but that doesn't mean AOC should also follow them on that dumbass path.
And get them to pass it. She is someone who claimed to be a supporter of the $15 minimum wage, which Joe Biden and Chuck Schumer very specifically killed. It was a part of the first COVID relief bill at the beginning of Joe Biden's administration.
She is, and they couldn't get it through
part of that package is a must-pass bill.
Manchin and
it's a very popular policy, as I say all the time. Even Florida voters in 2020.
She's not the president. She's not in Senate either.
Chuck Schumer took it out so that would never have to be a question of whether Republicans were going to vote down on the whole COVID relief package, which allowed America to open back up again and get vaccines distributed.
It's almost like she should run for the Senate
again.
Replace
because
Schumer.
It was taken out not because of any pressure to do so, but because Chuck Schumer, presumably with the approval of Joe Biden, just chose to do so, and there was very little objection apart from Bernie Sanders about that. She did speak out somewhat
considering
against
Schumer and
Biden's choice
Bernie
to bifurcate
are in the same house,
social spending aspects of Build Back Better from the infrastructure aspects of Build Back Better in a way that was obviously designed to kill the social spending and again prevent it from being a must-pass bill. And instead of talking about all of that and saying that my support is contingent on him doing more, maybe on the student debt front, for instance, maybe even mentioning the existence.
But what's the leverage here? If we already agree that there is a 98% chance that she endorses 6 months before the election, then what the fuck is the point? Like what the fuck does the difference make if she does it 18 months? What is it? Nothing. There's no, unfortunately, AOC, progressives in general don't have leverage. It sucks. I don't like it, but that doesn't mean that like we can pretend that we do.
Existence of something called medical debt in America, which does not exist in any similarly affluent country because other people don't go into bankruptcy because they have healthcare bills.
Do you think Biden hasn't heard that argument before?
To speak to all of these legitimate failures from the Biden administration and speak to the audience that got her elected. She seems to be, in the context of these interviews, concerned about the small incremental role that she can play in her own personal career as a senator, and that's disappointing to the left.
Same thing with Ukraine. I mean, remember the very tepid attempt that was, I think, was almost a year ago. Now it was probably a full year ago.
I mean, what is she supposed to concern herself with? She's a representative.
Members of the House
gaining more powers. The only way you get more of your
very mild criticism of the administration's efforts here.
Agenda.
That was a full year ago. This is still going on with just as much ferocity. Biden is going to send.
Can you guys believe it? Can you guys believe AOC and the squad didn't end the war in Ukraine? Fucking, we're the real progressives. What? They can't stop. They are a minority faction in the minority party in the only house that can, affect any legislation before it gets killed in the Senate. What do you want them to do? What? They can't stop the war. I'm sorry.
Cluster bombs to Ukrainian forces, with all we talked about earlier in the show, with all the downside of that. Again, that's not on AOC. She can have whatever view of it she wants, and she and I don't have the same views on a whole lot of policies, but I object to a lot of our Ukrainian strategy and the lack of urging of diplomacy and the lack of realism that this needs to be brought to an end. I would think, based on, as you said,
I never understand when people say that
candidate. I know
they'll
this
be like,
is something
we're not demanding enough peace talks. Like, what are we supposed to do? We tell them get peace talks, and they're like,
so
okay.
it is frustrating, not to pile on, but it's frustrating that she is doing absolutely nothing whatsoever on the front to raise the salience of that.
Yep. And as a counterexample of how she and her caucus could be behaving, you see what the Freedom Caucus is doing right now and how much power they've managed to.
The Freedom Caucus? You mean? Wait a minute. How large? The Freedom Caucus is not a small caucus within the Republican Party in the House. It's a very large party, especially compared to the Progressive Caucus. Keep in mind also the Progressive Caucus is filled with a bunch of non-progressives, but that aside, they also have leverage if they want to pass anything in their house. And by the way, everything's not going past the Senate, but if they at least want to look like they're legislating, because now that they're empowered, they've been asking for power, and they've been telling their voters, hey, vote for Republicans and we'll do this, vote Republicans and we'll do that. And what have they done? They've lost elections on abortion while they've dicked around in the fucking House the entire time. At the end of the day, the House Freedom Caucus is stronger than the House Progressive Caucus. Again, this is another one of those, do I like it? No. Is that just the way it is? Yes. The Progressive Caucus is not that strong, and especially since there are so many turncoat members, it's also not that cohesive either. Comparing these two things are so different. How many people got no, because I'm tired. I am actually kind of tired. Oh no, what is it? Wasn't it the Tea Party Caucus? And originally Tea Party Caucus. Because if I remember correctly, I want to know how many people they got it. Oh my God, fucking Michelle Bachmann. Jesus H. Christ. No, I want to know members. House. Okay. Between 2010 and retirement 2015. Oh my God. Wasn't Michelle Bachmann that dipshit who's like, we have the power of the purse. We'll bankrupt the executive branch or something. Wasn't that her? Let's see. It was defeated 2016. Committee had 48 members. Let's see. I want to know what their starting members were. Former members. Yeah, okay, let's see. Several members of the Tea Party Caucus are part of the Republican Party. Tom Price served as chairman. Other former members. But I want to know former members. But I want to know who. Where's the roll call? I want the roll call. 50 National Conservatives. Dissolved in 2016. I also know they're talking about the Freedom Caucus. Succeeded by the Freedom Caucus. Yeah, that's what I thought. Okay. I remember. Let's see. If I do starting members, will that House Speaker, battle has no. God damn it. I just want to know how many they started with. Because, like, comparing the Squad to the fucking Freedom Caucus or the Tea Party caucus is fucking stupid. They're such different movements, especially in terms of their ability to actually, like, swing votes. Because they weren't nearly as small as the Squad is. God damn it. No, I don't. Should we just presume that these are the initial members? The 112? Maybe this is it? So what do they have? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12? Along with all these fuckers? Also considering what's it called? The what's the word I'm looking for? The Republicans usually are working with really small margins a lot of the time. Also, that also helps their cause. But either way, this is not a I think a reasonable criticism. I think it's like fair, but it would be the same as like comparing I don't know, fucking I don't know. I can't think of an analogy right now. It'd be like comparing like fucking Granny Smith apples to like green apples. Those aren't the same, I'm assuming, right? Let's hope that they're not. But it's like, are they both apples? Yes. Are they very different in terms of taste, texture, and color and everything else? Also, yes. Like,
extract from a narrow majority. The exact same narrow majority that progressives had at the beginning of Joe Biden's
ones and the green ones. That's all you need to know.
Progressives at the time wanted them to withhold their vote for Nancy Pelosi being Speaker of the House in exchange for various concessions.
We're still on this.
They did not. The Freedom Caucus did, and they got some very meaningful ones. They basically control what bills can.
Again, the Freedom Caucus has nothing to lose if they do that because their party doesn't actually pass anything. The Democrats, on the other hand, actually have an interest in passing things, meaning that if they like Republicans when they did this to when the Freedom Caucus did this, there was no sacrifice. If they don't pass anything, same thing with what happened with the recent fight about Kevin McCarthy's speakership. If they don't pass anything, if they can't do anything, guess what? Nothing changes. They don't pass anything in the Senate, so they don't have to pass anything anyway. Whereas for the Democrats, especially in this session that she's talking about in 2020, Democrats had control of all three branches, meaning that there was actual change that could actually move forward. So there would actually be a real tangible loss in legislative progress. Like, it's the difference between like we'll take no steps or we'll take no steps, and the difference between we'll take 2 steps or we'll take no steps. 2 steps is better than no steps.
And come to the House floor right now because of appointments that they got on various committees from Congressman McCarthy. There was real power at stake, and so much of the Democratic Party's game, because I think a lot of Democratic party voters are really well-meaning and they want a lot of good things, and there's this broader
Democratic Party voters sadly just don't pay that much attention to politics.
Core of America that agrees on common sense gun control and healthcare reform and a $15 minimum wage and all of this kind of stuff. But they believe, Democrats uniquely are credulous about their party's ability to do X, Y, and Z. And this fiction about, well, it's not our fault, it's just that the Senate won't go along with it. We know that's a fiction because we saw exactly how Barack Obama behaved with a supermajority. We heard the promises about how, well, if you just elect a Democrat, we'll...
Yeah, you're right. Progressive Barack Obama. Yeah,
One more time, we're gonna codify Roe. We're gonna pass the Equal Rights Amendment. Obama
yeah, I
did
know.
not do those things.
Centrist Democrats don't actually pass popular things.
It very much looks like they're set to do the exact same thing with student debt reform, because now Biden's plan B, trying again through the Higher Education Act, because there's a notice and comment period, it would take us into his second term. And you can already see them lining up on TV, Ro Khanna and other giving interviews saying, well, you got to vote for Joe Biden if you ever want student debt reform. And so it feels like this carrot, stick, bait, and switch dance that is enabled by people who have progressive bona fides like AOC does, telling the public that this is the most that they can expect.
You know,
Wait, when did AOC even say that? She said that they got a lot done given the circumstances, but there was more to do, which is true. Again, at the end of the day, AOC is not like nuking her political career so she can be replaced by some other centrist establishment Democrat. Why would any of us want that to begin with? I want AOC in the fucking in Congress, in the House, in any of it, in politics for the rest of her goddamn life, because I know that she's a secure vote for Medicare for all. That like, if she does nothing else, that is what I can trust her to do. And at the end of the day, like, she needs to stay there by towing the line in some way, but in this way, it's not even towing the line. What are the options? There aren't any. Your options are a fucking vax quack and stone woman. Those are your options. Like, I'm sorry we don't have better ones, but like, it's just the way it is. I'm sorry. Being an adult is accepting reality and not constantly wanting to opining over
this
your most
phenomenon
imagined
of the Democratic
option.
Party becoming the home for conformists, frankly, from people who listen and trust authority, follow orders, respect rules, respect process, who are not combative
Brianna,
or feisty.
why are you accepting this framing?
Temperamentally, that's what a Democratic representative is, and that's what the constituency or the highly educated viewers, readers,
all of that
etc.
authoritarian nonsense is all right
where
wing.
On the Republican side,
appeal.
it's the Real Housewives. Sometimes it's nasty. It's reality TV. Their standard bearer is the star of reality TV. But there's actual. But I'm saying people make fun of that. But there's actual political argument going on.
For sure.
Are there? Because let's be honest here. Republicans get the fucking line. We already know that Ted Cruz, after his wife got insulted, eventually bent the fucking knee and phone banked for Trump. We were all here. We all remember that. So like, don't give me this. Like, Republicans are going to vote for whatever the red line is on their name, like whatever R is next to their name. Like, Republicans, how many like Republicans have you met that have like the like say stuff like Democrat and have shirts that are like, I'd rather be Russian than Democrat or whatever weird shit like that. Like, come on, like, get the fuck out of here. Go to a fucking gun show and then come talk to me.
That exists on the Republican side, but the overwhelming majority of Republican voters, Trump lost because people were over his antics. Trump lost because he couldn't keep it together for an election season and he was saying all this wild stuff in the context of the COVID pandemic. So
also, didn't he lose? He lost independents more than he lost Republicans.
More of an appetite among the Freedom Caucus for this kind of adversarial politics than among this so-called squad. But I don't know that, I think that generally speaking, elites, middle class, upper middle class people are all looking for stability and bipartisanship and all of these buzzwords. It's really just working class people and poor people of both parties who are driving the populist movement for looking for more straightforward candidates who are telling them the truth. And AOC ran for Congress saying she was going to bring the ruckus. She ran for Congress saying, quote, in any other country, Joe Biden and I would not be in the same party. Well, if you feel so strong.
Well, yeah. Oh, don't do it. Don't do this. Start a new party. It's not.
That you should not be in the same party as Joe Biden. Why on earth, a year and a half before an election, are you choosing to weigh in with an endorsement instead of saying, well, we deserve to have more candidates if you don't like the candidates that have already thrown their hat in the ring?
Who? I'm going to ask this every fucking time. Who? Stop with this imaginary fucking leftist. This fucking imaginary, like, 20-year, 30, 40 fucking year younger Bernie. They're not there. It's a fucking mirage. Your options are RFK Jr. and Marianne Williamson. If you like those options, vote for them. If you don't, then don't. But for fuck's sake, stop imagining a pretend perfect fucking leftist candidate that isn't there. I don't know how we can possibly move forward as a movement, as a leftist movement. How the fuck do we move forward when we can't get past the simple calculus, the simple arithmetic that we don't have a candidate? I'm sorry. That sucks, but we don't. We don't have anybody viable. If Biden fucking kicks the bucket, it's down to fucking Kamala and the other two. But those are the options. If somebody else was going to rise up, they would have had to done it quite a while ago. But enough of this. Oh, well, why doesn't she just say, like, oh, if somebody else, maybe if somebody else steps up. Why don't you step up? If you want a fucking leftist candidate that lives up to your fucking values, and they're not there yet, and you are so aggrieved about this entire endorsement process, then get in the fucking race or shut the fuck up. Because I'm tired of it. I'm not doing this debate a million times over the way Force the Vote happened. You can either take reality as it is, or you can leave it. But Jesus fucking Christ, move the fuck on. There isn't another one. We don't have a younger Bernie. I'm sorry. I love the fucking guy too. But like, he's not running again. And we don't have an heir to that throne yet. So how about this? Let's try to find ourselves a candidate one of these days and start prepping them a little bit earlier than 18 months than out of an election. God, like Brianna Joy Gray has like 100th my education and like 5,000th my political experience. She was a spokeswoman for Bernie Sanders, and I do not know how she cannot live in the reality that we are living in right now, how she can be this unattached to the corporeal realm. I just don't know how you do it.
Why have the Progressive Caucus not been putting their heads together in anticipation of 2024 to run someone who can be the standard bearer for the issues that they said they cared so much about when they got our money and our votes from the progressive flank, people giving their last $27, poor and working class people to support these kinds of campaigns?
Yeah, I'm saying temperamentally the Democratic Party is shifting into something that just doesn't practice that kind of shtick, that kind of bring the ruckus. They don't bring the ruckus.
It's just a brand. It was a branding exercise.
Yeah.
And you see this a lot now. I mean, AOC, ironically, she was...
Oh my God, politics is branding. Holy shit. Winning elections is branding? Winning elections is marketing? Holy fuck, when did that happen? Oh my God. I just... What do you... Oh, the Progressive Caucus needs to find somebody. It puts their heads together and pick... What? You're basically asking one of them to step up. And if none of them are like, keep in mind, again, when we say Progressive Caucus, that is, I think, about 160 members. Now, take out of that 160 members, you have maybe, 30, maybe, that are actual progressives. And then all of those people who have not been in office very long, you want them to run a presidential campaign? You want AOC to run a presidential campaign? Are you out of your fucking mind? Bernie has been in the Senate for a bajillion years, and he still lost 2 presidential primaries.
A critic of the weaponization of identity politics that was happening at the time. She said it's not enough for you just to vote for people who are black or Latino or female or whatever, that you have to look at their substantive politics. Where is that discussion now? Richie Torres, who holds himself out as a progressive because he's black, Latino, and gay in New York City, is out here basically tweeting out AIPAC talking points about the murders, all of that was going on in Jenin in Israel and Palestine right now. Where is the pushback from the squad about the rhetoric that he's putting out about that? When's the last time they were forcefully having a discussion about freeing Julian Assange?
Yeah.
AOC has started tap dancing on that a long time ago.
Republicans and then people who are not Republicans but are outside the Democratic coalition, like RFK Jr. and Marianne Williamson.
What Julian Assange? What fucking average regular ass American, given their last $7.25, gives a shit about Julian Assange? Not that Julian Assange isn't important, but like that's the thing you want them to stick their neck out for Julian fucking Assange? Come on.
Type people.
And Cornel West is running for office.
Green Party, like
it's
all
Dude,
the outside.
Cornel West was in the fucking People's Party.
Stop it. One of the most popular podcasts in America. This liberal touchstone, for her not to use that opportunity to inform the public that there are even these other candidates in the race. Say you're not ideologically aligned with RFK Jr. Marianne Williamson is literally running on the Bernie platform. And you could say something like, I don't know if I'm confident in her ability to succeed, but I'm so glad that she's in the race, keeping these issues alive. She could say, I'm so glad that someone as respected and renowned as Cornel West is in this race, and I strongly support third parties and Green Party candidates.
Did not say either of those things.
And she could also say, if you're concerned about spoiler effects and Green Party candidates, then it is incumbent on Democrats to stop trying to protect their power by actively attacking every ranked choice voting effort, every effort to get us past the post voting that springs up.
Do you think any normie knows what the fuck ranked choice voting is? Honest to God, do you think anybody actually knows? Like, I know what it is. I support ranked choice voting, but has like anybody done the work? Has the work even begun to try to educate Americans about ranked choice voting? No, it hasn't. The next bite at the apple we are going to get is in 2028. And we can either we can play fucking footsie in 24 and, pitch a fit about the mystery vacant person who's not running this year, or we can begin to strategize. Those are your two options.
This by ballot initiative, but the reason that both the Democratic Party,
better for our country than getting that done.
Both Democrats and Republicans oppose ranked choice voting.
Of course they do.
Because it preserves their power and enables them to say every single election cycle, you have to vote for us, even though we're substantively ignoring your interests.
Yeah, that's called
because
leverage.
Otherwise, the other guy is going to win.
It's a binary choice between us or the people you hate. And say, well, give us more choices. Change the system so that there are better choices. Well, of course they're not going to do that.
They're never going to do that. So I said in the last 5 to 10 minutes what I think could be very useful for AOC to say
useful.
using her
0%
platform.
of it is useful.
I am not invited on
All of it
shows
is
like
stupid.
Pod Save America, and I would like to see someone like AOC and the rest of this.
All of it is, quite frankly, just it's just a refusal to accept reality as it is. All right, we're done with this. God damn, I did not expect to have such an outburst. I apologize to all the folks out there. I'm sorry I yelled. I know it's very shocking for me to yell. I don't usually yell that much. It's just fucking stupid. I can't stand it. Also, I've been trying to look up to see because I want to know what percentage Trump pulled in the 2020 election of Republican voters. From what I understand, it was a pretty high percentage, but I can't really find it right now. But the idea that Trump lost support in the Republican Party, I don't remember being demonstrated at any point. But whatever, that's fine. All right, shall we play the game for a bit? Does that sound like a good idea? We'll do that, and then it shouldn't take too long, I don't think. I don't actually know how long the demo is. Let me do this, and then do this, and then let me mute my desktop so it doesn't make a whole racket noise. Ay. Oh, do I need to change it to this, don't I? Full screen? Nope. Windowed? Oh boy. Oh dear. Let's see. All right. Am I gonna have to? Okay, yeah, we're gonna have to do this. Let's do that. Oh my goodness, yeah, that fucked my screen for a second there. All right, let's try that again. Hopefully this time it won't be funky. I'll move this over here for now. Oh, goodness. My hope to God in the future is that as the progressive movement, what the fuck? Why? Oh, it's not aligned correctly. Oh, that's fucking stupid. That's fucking stupid. Oh, does that mean I need to okay. What was I saying? It's just as a movement, the progressive movement since Bernie's loss in in 2020 has like, I think had a real problem with like accepting that, because like you'll hear a lot of progressives. Oh my goodness. But how do I wait? Oh wait, if I go over here with it? Oh my goodness. Uh-huh. Oh, there we go. Okay. I think I might have fixed it. Or maybe not. I just want to put it on windowed use. Russian input. That's nice. Audio. What the fuck? What if I don't know why I can't get it to like the hell. Oh, okay, did I fix it? No, I did not. What the fuck? This is why, by the way, I fucking hate oh my goodness. 15, what is this? 1536 by, okay. Oh my god, auto. Am I like not? Okay, well, let's. Where the fuck? I actually don't know if we're gonna be able to play this now, because it's now. I put it on full screen and now it's like fucking my screen. Should I? Yeah, I like literally don't know what to fucking do in this case. Like, why, oh why are PC games like this? This is, you know, this is the one thing. This is my big gripe with gaming on PC is good gravy is shit like just not cooperative at all. Okay, what if we just do prologue? What if I just okay. Okay, what if I do this? Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness. Why is it acting like, why is it displaying like this? Why are you doing this? Yeah, like it's all like misaligned on my fucking screen. Oh, okay, so that's the start. Okay, Air Force Base. Yeah. Well, result time. Okay. I'll like unmute it, so at least.
Alpha, is that a meteor? Negative. I'll try to get in touch. You entering controlled airspace. What are your intentions?
Beep boop, beep boop.
Introduce yourself. No answer. Switching to heat control.
Also, we'll rewatch this. I just want to like try to get past this.
Communication lost. I try radio on different frequency.
Like I want to see if I'm in game. I might honestly have to uninstall and then reinstall it.
Begins pushdown. 10 seconds to land.
I really don't know.
Saying again. 10 seconds to land. Over.
Man, fucking radios. Fucking awful.
Michael Anderson is 2 miles from the landing site.
Wait, where the fuck is... Where the fuck is OBS? Oh, there it is. Okay. Whew. That kind of scared me for a second there. All right, is this gonna cooperate? I don't know if it will. Because now it's being a big butt. All right, all right, all right, all right. Okay, cool. Nope, I'm gonna have to fucking uninstall this, aren't I? What's weird is like this is fine. Like I can't go any higher than that, god damn it. Yeah, it's cuz it's on fucking full screen. Oh, that's fucking. Wait, okay, if I do what's auto detect? Will that like fix it or not fix it? Maybe? No? Okay. What screen could I? No, it's literally, it does not want to cooperate. Well, we're not playing this, that's for free. We'll play something else for a little bit, I guess. Since, yeah, I'm gonna have to fucking uninstall and reinstall that. That's fucking stupid. Oh, maybe it's not a big download. Depending, I could maybe try to install it really quickly. Fucking Steam would open. Hello, Steam, open the fuck up. There we go. Uninstall. Yeah. Install. Yeah. Let's see. How fast will this go? Oh, okay. We're already like what? Okay, we're already like 18%. Okay. Yeah. We'll see about uninstalling and installing, and then we'll go from there. We're already like a gigabyte down. Sorry, guys. I don't know. What's it called? I don't know why they gotta be dumb like that. Alright, cool. Let's try this again. Hopefully this time it works. Hopefully it doesn't open this time in what's it called? I mean, I don't know. I don't know. That's why I usually play stuff in windowed. Okay. Uh-huh. Fuck's sake. Really? Wait, what was that? What was the Steam thing? Yeah, like, why does it fuck my screen so much? Like, it does it like permanently too. Like, it does it for everything. Alright, well, I guess we'll just play something else for the last couple of minutes here. Like I said, I'll try and fix. Actually, wait. What if I wait. Steam overlay. What is this? Data is used in game to overlay for this game, such as the browser tabs are open. Windows that have open or pinned don't care. Use desktop game theater. Launch options. No. Always keep this game updated. No. No, that's not it either. That's fucking stupid. All right, well, let's. What should we play? What should we? Ooh, we could. Wait, I didn't beat this. I don't know why that's on that list. Fuck. I don't have anything installed right now that I was like ready to go. Oh man, okay. These are all kind of on the longer side. I guess we could do Backrooms for a bit. For like a couple minutes. Right. That? Okay. It's weird. Don't know why that was an option. Put it in there. Yep. Cool. Okay. Well, at least this fucking works. Turn that down, Jesus. Fuck? Oh. Oh, that's me. Okay. I was kind of confused for a second there. Alright, cool. Alright, let's see. Use radio R, flashlight F. Okay. Oh. I feel like, okay. Let's go red. Alright, well. The fuck is you? Oh, well that's a bit awkward now, isn't it? Right. Hello? I don't know what that does. Anyway, flashlight, I guess? Oh. What do we have here? Oh. E. Okay. Cool. No, no. Light, please. Oh, okay. Let's see. What else we have? Sanity pills? No, I can't pick them up. I'm assuming eyes, usual inventory. This. No, no. I want to equip it. I want to equip it. Oh. What is that? E? Alright. Really? I just opened the inventory. That was the whole... Okay. This. Use. Alright, cool. Wonderbar. Okay. It's really weird. It feels like the white... Okay, so when I say like the white, the red, on my mouse, I have like colors that you can hit. Like there's a green, there's a red, there's a white one. Then they're all like different speeds. Like green is like the fastest one, white is like the medium-ish one, and then red is the slowest one. I can't tell if that's a monster. It's pretty high up. Okay, let's not go that way then. Okay, I do have stamina. Okay, that's not good. That's not good. Stamina is cringe. Don't like that. Okay. I'm assuming. I guess we just kind of try to find the things. Oh, is this it? Nope, red. Okay. Oh, here we go. E. This. This. Oh, shit. That kind of sends me flying. Okay. Cool. Wait. Oh, boy. That's a guy. Can I pick that up at all? Nope. Okay. That's okay. I didn't even want to pick it up, really. It's really just a question. Oh. E. There we go. There's this one. Do we need this one too? Yeah, of course we do. This. There we go. I don't like that sound particularly. Okay, we did. Or no, we didn't do this one. Did we? I thought we did this one. I guess we didn't. Okay. Well, I did that one. Couldn't I logically just like take it off then? Like after you turn it, you could just... Okay, what is this? What did this say? You need red access card to open the door. Oh, okay. I'm about to say, I can't fucking see with this flashlight. I'm assuming I need to go through that door. It just kind of seems like the door to go through. Hi. Okay. Oh, hi there. You look kind of silly in like a, I don't know if I'd say scary way. Looks kind of more dumb than scary. Okay, cool. Okay, goodbye. We probably need to go down this way a bit. Where'd he go? Oh, he's over there. Okay, cool. Well, while he's over there, I'm going. Fuck you. There it is. Oh, there's another one. Oh, okay, cool. Feels a lot darker over here all of a sudden. Okay, cool. This one. Ish, and then this, and then. Why would I ever pick it to not use it? Like, why do I have to select use? Like, obviously, I'm choosing that thing. Is the smoke gone? I think the smoke might be gone. Oh no, he's standing in it. He's standing right there. Okay, well, I think there was another thing, wasn't there? Hello? Oh shit. I think he's coming this direction. Let's. Okay, we gotta do this quick. And then this. And then stupid, I gotta double click that twice. And then, okay, cool. Okay, I think we're good. And then we'll run back to here. Alright, alright, alright. Okay. Nope, no access key. Oh, but this is good though. This is open. We may enter the men's room. You need the garage card. What the f? I don't need a fucking card? Okay. That's fucking stupid. I still need the red one. Nah. Damn, I guess I'm not playing as RFK Jr., am I? Is it this person's card, maybe? Doesn't seem like it. Where the fuck is the key I'm looking for, then? The only other thing in this fucking place. Do I need to get it off that poop monster? Nope, that's a bottle. There's a bottle of juice. Okay. Is there another body I could possibly find? Oh, wait, what was that? I saw something tingling in the light. I think it's just pills. Pills, yeah. Shit. Oh, hi. Oh, tied. Hi. Oh, I think he saw me. No fucking way, really? It's that easy? Wow. Somebody really going in on the strings. Okay, oh. He seems a bit angry, but peeved. Alright, well that was easy. Still kind of feels like that's supposed to be the card, but it doesn't really seem like I can pick it up. What the fuck is... I don't know what any of this shit is. What is this? Use. Am I able to... Doesn't really seem like I have a lot of options now, does it? Take for this stream, I have to disagree with you. What is the take for this stream? I guess the most heated take was I disagree that AOC betrayed the left by endorsing Joe Biden, the only viable option for president on the Democratic side. That was probably my hottest take. I disagree. God damn it. AOC is stupid anyways. Well, I would have to disagree with that. I like AOC's politics. Okay, well, I don't know what the fuck I'm... Oh, hi. Oh, boy. Nope. That doesn't work. Nope, nope, nope. Dumnatics more like... That's a good one. I've not heard that one before. Get away from me, you poop monster. Wait, can I? No, I have no way of defending myself. What am I supposed to do? I guess I'm supposed to die. That's what I do. What the fuck? Oh, I'm back. And so I'm back. Oh, wait, huh? What? Huh? Oh, am I entering the corporeal realm? Wait. Wait. Why does it sound like it's like right near me? Oh. Oh, go towards the light, huh? Go towards the door. Oh. Why is everything E? Why is nothing left click? Okay. Lives. Luckily I'm a fucking... Wait, do I not... Wait, do I not have... Wait. Where's... Oh, right there. Okay. Yeah, where's my stuff? Loot. I didn't realize I was playing PUBG. Alright, cool. I just want my flashlight. Alright, well, I have no fucking clue what I'm supposed to be doing now. Oh, shit. Alright, well. I'm gonna hide in here. This is what's gonna happen. Nope, I'm hiding. Nope, nope. Fuck you. Fuck you. You have no idea where I am. Stupid fucking monster. The fact that that works. Okay. Anyway. Alright, y'all. Alright, that's gonna be it for me. For the night. Let's see. We have tomorrow. What are we talking about tomorrow? That's a good question. I have a few things lined up. Well, we'll see if that centrist character is actually going to come on and have a chit chat. But otherwise, there's two videos I want to watch. One of them is from Warrior Poet Society, opining on the smart gun, something that I've been a big advocate for. I think it's actually really fucking cool. But a lot of like 2A gun content creators have been really negative on, and I've yet to hear a really strong argument that isn't like conspiratorial or just kind of like I guess centered around people's like egos a little bit, or their like sense of masculine pride or whatever. But either way, I want to take a look at that dude specifically. It's a bit on the long side, but we'll try to get through it. Other than that, I want to try and get through this video from Patrick Bet-David on the LGBTQ movement, which that dude is like criminally uneducated on politics, but he still talks about it every once in a while. So we'll kind of go over and we'll go over that and kind of like see what somebody with his brain thinks of that. Otherwise, yeah, that's pretty much it for today. If you enjoyed any of the show, if you just lurked in chat, if you're like Ruvik over here who just showed up, yeah, we do this 3 times a week, or I should say I do this 3 days a week, on Mondays, Tuesdays, and Thursdays at 7 p.m. Mountain Time. You can catch me. We do a bit of politics. We do, we do some kind of like a fun, more on the fun side politics. I try to do like real news for a little bit. And then with the rest of the time that we have, we play some horror games because I really like playing horror games. But yeah, you should totally hit the follow button if you're on Twitch, and if you're on YouTube, you should hit the subscribe button. Both of those things, very cool. Cool people do them. Other than that, yeah, that's pretty much all I got for today. You all have a lovely night. I'll see you all tomorrow, and yeah, bye-bye.